Hello, everybody, and welcome to A Slice of Gaming podcast for July 17, 2026. I am your host, Anchar Wolf, and I am joined today by a big group of people to talk about all things gaming. Pretty slow news week, considering the fallout of everything, but that's kind of what we're talking about is not just Fallout, the franchise, but just the state of the gaming industry and talk about like how all the big guys are doing and hopefully try to figure out like, okay, what's going to be the next play and what's gaming going to look like maybe in the next 5 to 10 years. So we have a lot of things to talk about, really, but I got to get a big group of people here. First and foremost, making his return, I got my man Bench.
I have returned as a movie fan.
He watched one movie. And then he's like, wait, these are good.
He's the movie guy now.
He's the movie guy. He took that from me.
Perhaps.
I'm also joined by Dark
Yo.
and Bop.
I can't wait for Bench to watch a second movie and then be like, I'm getting a lot of Odyssey vibes from this movie.
Unfortunately,
reminding me a lot of the Odyssey.
John Wick lacked Odyssey vibes.
Oh man, I get it.
John
It's
Wick's
tough,
a banger,
man.
though.
Oh, it's such
It was really good.
sequels, especially fucking 4. Oh man, you ever watch 4, Bop?
Which one's that?
The last
The Fire Shotgun.
I might have only seen 2 and 3.
Oh, you gotta watch the finale.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't know if I saw 4 actually.
You gotta go watch
It's-
it, man.
it's very funny because I love that whole like quadrilogy. I still haven't watched Ballerina. I have zero interest in it.
Yeah.
I watched
4
it.
ended so perfectly, and I'm like, yeah, I don't need anymore.
I watched Ballerina. It's like baby's first John Wick.
They are
That's
making a
just-
5.
It's like making a God of War without Kratos. Am I right, guys?
It's John Wick, but not.
Anyways, that's a whole thing in and of itself. Maybe when we start our movie podcast, we'll talk about that. Anyways, if you guys want to find us, YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever your favorite podcasts are found, like the podcast, this helps a ton, and follow us on Twitter and Blue Sky at A Slice of Gaming, all one word. With that, let's get into our icebreaker. What do you guys want to talk about? Any specific thing?
Yes.
Media.
If this is how
I guess.
we're doing, we're going straight for the Bethesda news.
Oh no! I'm talking about the icebreaker.
Like a
Oh.
like a
No.
personal like a personality question.
Yeah. Something you would
I
find on a
remember.
quiz. Here's the thing. I have things set up. What do you guys want to talk about? Movies, music, video games?
What do you want to talk about, Wolf? How about that?
Oh my god, I hate it when you put me on the spot. All right.
Wolf, I have a really bad one, but it is
Yeah, fuck
something
it,
I
let's do it.
asked. It's something I asked my girlfriend yesterday.
Let's
Oh,
do
no.
it. Let's do it. Because I can't
Um,
access my doc for some reason on the questions I wrote down, so it's up to you now.
Okay. Apologies for the listeners if this is too much. But we're
Okay,
just
here we
gonna
go.
send it. When is the last time you remember pooping your pants?
Okay.
And do you have any funny / embarrassing stories about like pooping your pants in public or anything of the sort?
I'm gonna hit you with one, Bob.
Okay.
Never pooped my pants. Never did it.
Well, that's just a lie.
It's not a
That's just
lie.
Well, okay,
Well, okay, maybe when I was a
post
baby.
diapers, post diapers.
Yeah,
Potty
post
train-
diapers.
post-
Yeah, because
Yeah, I
I,
don't think
was
I've
always
had a
scared of
situation like
that.
that either.
So, Bob, what I'm hearing is you're the odd one out, unless Bench got one.
I mean, I do, but depending on what Bop says, I won't say it.
I mean, I haven't done it since I was like a kid, like
I
probably
would hope so.
elementary school.
You guys don't gotta
Um,
go into the crazy detail of it. It's just like,
Well, no, I mean, I do have a funny story related to
yeah,
it. That's
I want to
why.
hear it.
Okay, so the reason, so I actually was kind of notorious with this with my parents because I was the kid that didn't. I was too nervous to say I had to go to the bathroom because I didn't want to inconvenience anyone. So I just
Oh,
figured
no.
I could hold it for an indefinite amount of time and then just like deal with it later. And then that would just not work. And then, I would have to change my clothes. So the the best example I have of this is when I was like 6 or 7. My grandparents took me and my sister to this place called Dixie Stampede. Does anyone know what that is?
Nope.
No.
Okay. So Dixie Stampede is Dolly Parton's version of Medieval Times.
Oh, is that the
Oh.
one from Tennessee?
Yeah, is that
I didn't know it was
Tennessee?
called Dixie
So
Stampede.
it's not Dollywood. It was its own
Okay.
standalone thing
It's the ghetto
where
one.
it very much like medieval. No, I mean it was still Dolly Parton's, like it was her thing. Like she showed up on the screen. It was very much like her like brainchild. But
It's like a spinoff.
but it was very much like Medieval Times where like they would pop up in different places. So like there was one in Orlando, kind of near Disney, and so my grandparents took us. And the funny thing is, if you guys know Medieval Times, like there's like
Yeah.
6 different like colors, and you back one of the knights, and they all do like a jousting tournament and everything. Okay, so for Dixie Stampede, instead of that, it's you're either the North or the South in the
doesn't sound
Confederate
right.
War.
That's
Yeah,
tough.
you can imagine why these don't exist anymore.
I can imagine that most people pick North, hopefully.
Well, no, that's the thing. It was determined by where you sat, so
Oh.
you didn't have a choice.
It's like, I guess but I feel like there was like so many things we could have gone to before the Confederacy, like just straight up.
100%. But it was so funny. But it was very much like Medieval Times, where there was like a giant rodeo field, like with horses on the on the floor, and then it was like stadium seating to an extent, and there was all these different little games, and they would pick. There was a lot more crowd participation, so one of the employees like saw me and like went up to me and said, "Hey, we have an event for kids coming up, do you want to participate?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure." And my grandpa was like, "Sure, I'll like escort you down, and then I'll walk back up with you when you're done." Meanwhile, I've had to go for at least an hour by this point. And I'm just not saying anything. So then
you said you were like 6 or 7?
yes.
That's so funny.
So
I
I
kid
just
at that age being like, I can't say anything.
yeah, no, I was too scared to like say I had to go to the bathroom because I just didn't want to get in the way. So I was thinking, okay, it'll be something easy. Like I don't have to like, I'll be fine in my current state. Like it'll be cool. The competition was releasing a bunch of chickens and chasing them to see if you could catch one, and the first kid to catch one won a prize.
Oh, that's cute.
And so immediately, I am just not thinking about anything else other than catching this chicken. So I am full sprinting down this like dirt, floor, and then like halfway through, I'm like, oh, right, I forgot I was supposed to be like, holding this in. So now it's just like I just had poop in my pants. I'm just running around pooping my pants, and then didn't win. And then I go backstage, and my grandpa's like, "Oh wow, that like field really stinks." And then I just kind of look at him, and he looks at me, and goes, "Oh no." I'm like, yeah. So
You just accepted it.
need to change clothes. So
So
Yeah.
you pooped your pants at Dolly Parton's horse racing event.
slightly racist, slightly controversial horse event.
I think honestly, the
So-
funniest part about that whole story is the fact that people go to that fair when they're right next to Disney. It's like
Well-
20 minutes away, baby.
And listen, Wolf, you would be shocked the amount of bull crap tourist stuff that is in Orlando that they try and get you to do while you're here for Disney. They're like, "Oh, well, since you're here, let's go to this like Ripley's Believe It or Not museum, or
Oh yeah, I've heard of that.
like a full-scale replica of the Titanic for no reason, or
I guess I kind of understand that stuff, but like I'm more so like theme parks make no sense to me of like trying to compete with Disney at that point. But I guess it's like
Well-
a hey, while you're here,
Wolf, have you ever heard of Holy Land?
Holy Land.
There
Jerusalem?
is a theme. There is a theme park in Orlando, literally called Holy Land, and it is entirely based on Jesus Christ. And it's a theme park
Oh, yeah.
with actual
Roller coasters
rides
for
and
Jesus.
shows.
Dude, that's
I don't
so
know if there's
funny.
roller coasters, but it's like a legitimate theme park.
I literally just finished The Boys like yesterday, and they have that whole plot point about like a Jesus theme park. I did not know it was even a real concept. That's insane. I love it though. You know what?
So-
Shout out, say praise Jesus. If that's your thing. Bench, you had your
So-
story.
So I'm gonna bring the house down, but I need you to promise me you won't look at me differently.
Okay.
I can't really imagine I look at you any differently.
So I was probably 11 or 12, staying at my grandparents' house, and I had like a really bad stomach bug to the point where like
Mhm.
every time I like passed gas, or it was just a disaster, full on
Okay.
disaster. So
Like pain?
knowing that when I passed gas, I was gonna like shit myself. I was like, man, I'm really like having fun watching like cartoons right now, and I kind of don't want to get up. So my grandparents at the time had some Depends. So I just lived that way for a couple days.
So- Wait, so you just shit your pants, or like you just?
So you just
Dealt with
change
it?
your diapers over the.
Yeah.
It's not that bad.
I mean, what cartoons were you watching? That's the real question. Were they bangers?
At that time it was probably Steven Universe.
See that now not worth it. If you said like SpongeBob or regular show or something, I'd be like, okay, fair
I
enough.
mean,
but,
it
like,
was
Steven
those were
Universe-
probably mixed in, but that's kind of like the core memory of it all was watching that, and that's probably the only time I watched that show too.
you were just like, you know what? Fuck it. I got shit in my pants. I might as well
Mhm.
deal with it.
Yeah.
Well, Dark, we are officially better than them because we haven't shat our pants. Shout outs, man.
I mean, Bob, they're just not brave enough to tell the tale.
I agree.
We
Um,
literally haven't.
Oh,
I
how many
agree.
times to tell them?
I've pissed my pants. I'll say that, but like I haven't shat my pants.
Okay.
Don't worry.
Honestly, I
What-
think pissing your pants is more embarrassing.
How is that?
That's
more
something you can
embarrassing?
control.
I don't think
In what
that's.
universe?
I'm
If-
kind of with Bench on this one. I feel like it's
That's
so
you
much.
can control pee.
Mhm,
Pee is a
mhm.
controlled
cannot.
environment. If you
Mhm.
fart and something comes out, that's not really your fault.
You can also like very
got weak-
quickly go pee
Yeah.
like
You got weak
in
control
more
of bowels.
places than you can.
You know
Yeah.
what? You know what it is. You guys don't have bidets. You don't with a bidet. You
That's
can
not.
Well, I had
that
to
has
get rid of
nothing
my
to do with
bidet
it.
for an unfortunate circumstance.
Okay.
Why would you get rid of it?
Okay.
What?
Well, my first year in college, I installed a bidet.
Oh, that's a problem.
Great. It was fantastic. It worked. I had it for like
Incredible.
my first year of college. And then my friend leaves for the summer. I'm on the third floor, he's on the second. And we come down till I was like in his bathroom for some reason. I think I was grabbing something. And I pretty much noticed, I look up at his bathroom ceiling and there's like a balloon coming down to like the
Oh my.
Oh no!
Oh my.
it was just like there was like a micro leak for
Yeah.
an entire year that
Yeah.
built
With a
up.
bidet?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm
that
sure like
fully
a
it just
I
like
could
the
see that
tiniest
happening.
of leaks like every day for a year, and it finally became noticeable once he moved out for the summer. It was a
That's so funny.
disaster.
I also like
Thankfully,
the
insurance
idea.
covered it.
I like the idea that your friend definitely saw that throughout the year and was like, nah, that's fine.
I
There's
like the
nothing
idea
wrong
more
here."
that he didn't notice.
No,
Please.
he had like brain injuries in high school, so we probably didn't notice.
Okay.
Fascinating.
This
He had to
story
like learn
just
how to
keeps
walk.
on
You know what?
giving.
You know what,
It was
Bob?
tough.
You know what, Bob? This is a good topic. I respect it. Good
Thank
topic,
you.
Bob.
Thank you. Thank you.
Let's get into the news now. Multiple Fallout projects and also just Bethesda projects in general have been announced. Got this from Bloomberg. Jason Schreier broke it. Bethesda announces new Fallout roadmap following Xbox reset. Well, here it is. Okay, Microsoft Corp's Bethesda Game Studios announced a slew of new Fallout projects on Friday, less than 2 weeks after parent company Xbox said it would cut thousands of jobs and double down on its biggest franchises, including the post-apocalyptic role-playing game series. Bethesda said it is in pre-production on Fallout 5 and developing remasters of 2008's Fallout 3 and 2010's Fallout New Vegas. The game maker also said it's collaborating with Xbox sister studio Obsidian Entertainment on a new Fallout game, confirming a Bloomberg report. Quote, we could not be more excited to work with Obsidian again, Todd Howard, director of the franchise, said in an interview with Bloomberg News. He praised the studio for retaining, quote, a core group of leaders and other developers that have been together for decades, a rarity in the volatile game industry, and said he was looking forward to another collaboration following Fallout New Vegas. Excuse me. Howard wouldn't get into the specifics about the origins of this new Fallout project, or discuss whether Obsidian had pitched other Fallout games over the past few years, only saying that the, quote, timing is right, end quote, for the collaboration. He declined to say whether it will be developed on Bethesda's proprietary creation engine technology or whether Bethesda will take a lead role in the production of the game. Quote, I would say the Fallout franchise is managed out of here and our staff and our franchise teams, he said. So very interestingly, basically announcing that 3 and New Vegas are both getting remakes, which they never technically announced. The Obsidian Fallout game, they never technically announced, and Fallout 5, which they never technically announced. So just a big smattering of Fallout news, which is very exciting. I will say, a lot of these we knew about, though I will say, I don't think we knew about New Vegas.
New
We
Vegas
didn't
was
explicitly know about New Vegas. We knew
No,
very
New
much about
Vegas-
3.
New Vegas was the one we didn't know about. But we were speculating if they were gonna do it. 3 was
Yeah.
part of the ABK merger
the
deal
ABK
when they
leak. And it was
and
also- there
it
was
was part
also
of that.
other leaks on top of that, like the toy line leak.
Yep.
But New Vegas was definitely the one where we were more so speculating if it would happen. And
I
now
think
it's officially confirmed.
All of this is great news, but like we're not getting most of this for the next 5 years. Besides,
Well,
the
I mean,
three
yeah.
remasters.
Okay, so
I-
before we get into that, someone pointed that out. I think it was Paris that pointed out because they announced this on Twitter, and Bethesda came out. They were like, "Yeah, we've been working on this for a couple of years now at this point." So I don't know.
I mean, you can
Well, for
say that, but
Fallout-
we know the Obsidian Fallout game is like not for another 5 years
I-
because
I-
it just
I-
started.
I don't know about
Can you
that.
talk about New
I mean,
Vegas League? Oh my bad.
But like, this is
I
definitely.
don't know about that, Bench, because the Obsidian Fallout game, like that new one, is built off a game Josh Sawyer was already working on. And Obsidian
That's
has a pretty
true.
fast turnaround.
But this
Also,
is definitely
how
like a
hard could
save
it
face type
be?
of thing.
But how hard could it be to also just make a Fallout game in the Outer Worlds engine when the Outer
Yeah,
Worlds
really.
engine is based off the Fallout engine?
Oh yeah, for sure. And I do think, honestly, the most interesting thing to me is not the Fallout news or the Elder Scrolls update. It's year 3 of Starfield.
Shut
seem
up!
committed.
You fucking
No,
you're
no,
so
I-
annoying.
I'm not even saying this as a Starfield fan. I'm saying this as like, this is not something that got cut in the cuts. They are still committed. And it's not even like they mention creation engine and creation from creators, but like they seem to be also talking about like first party content for Starfield is still coming in the future, which I did not expect.
They also said, what was it, 17 million players with like 1 billion hours of playtime, which
I mean,
obviously
Starfield got a lot of those off of launch.
right, Game Pass is going to skew a lot of that. 17 million players is still a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
Something else
That was the
they
most
mentioned.
performative thing Bench has ever said. Who cares about Fallout when Starfield?
I thought it-
Like,
I mean, we
Well-
know they're focusing on Elder Scrolls and Starfield. I mean,
So
Elder Scrolls and Fallout.
I get what
The-
you mean. It is interesting. They still seem to be committed to Starfield because last we heard, they kind of gutted that team.
The
well, and
unfortunate part of all this news, I'm sorry to cut you off.
no, you're good. You're good.
They also mentioned that Fallout 76 is getting a major expansion update, which is
Yeah.
supposed to be a prequel to Fallout 3.
Yeah, so I
Why
actually
are
saw
we
that.
doing this?
So okay, I hate Fallout 76 with all my heart. I will say this update does sound interesting because it's Raven Rock. So that's like kind of where the Enclave is from.
Yeah.
I think that could be interesting. But like again, it being Fallout 76, I'm just immediately like, this is gonna be super unfun. I probably won't want to play this, but Yeah, no, I'm with you, Dark. I never know why Fallout 76 keeps getting updates, but then I look at the Steam charts. It's like, well, people are still playing it for some reason.
And
Uh,
speaking of the online component, they also mentioned, I think it was Asha's tweet specifically that said it. I don't know if Bethesda's did, but she had said that Bethesda Studios is going to work a lot closer with ZeniMax Online or like the
Yeah.
ZeniMax
Oh,
Studios,
I didn't get that.
which yeah, which like she's pretty much saying it without saying it that like yeah, ESO is like coming to an end and like that team is going to start being more of a support studio for I'm assuming the Elder Scrolls.
Yeah, I see it here. Strengthening Tamriel. We're also bringing our teams closer together across Bethesda. ZeniMax Online Studios will partner even more closely with Bethesda Game Studios on the Elder Scrolls franchise and will continue to deliver incredible new experiences for the Elder Scrolls Online.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but what you said. It's,
think
I
that's-
do
How
find
is
it
this
interesting.
one over 76? It makes no sense to me.
Yeah, because Elder Scrolls Online definitely has a more bigger player base than 76, but I don't know, man. It's
The-
interesting though. I mean, looking at all of this, I want to start with the Fallout 3 and New Vegas remasters. I feel like we're not surprised about Fallout 3 at all. This is like the worst kept secret in the industry currently. Is just Fallout 3 remastered. When
The
do you guys
rumor's
think
next year,
that
right?
is coming out? It's like I'm pretty adamant that's like early next year.
Yeah, I think it's
Yeah,
early
I think
next year.
it's
next year.
They mentioned in their statement that they're having a Washington D.C. event for Fallout's next anniversary next year. So I assume maybe Shadow Drop there. When's Fallout 3's anniversary?
It was 2008 when it came out. I don't know what day it came out. Let me check.
Wasn't it
real quick.
November?
It dropped in October 28th.
Close.
Maybe it's
Yeah, that's close to
Jen?
Bomb's drop day. But I don't know. That feels so far away. I don't think they want to release a remaster though.
It's gonna be similar to when Oblivion Remastered came out.
Yeah, that's a good
Uh,
point.
I mean, I don't even think they should Shadow Drop it because I think if Oblivion was
Just
like
Sam.
just at a show and then you came like 6 months, it would have been more of an event.
The thing they had
The
Shadow
thing is-
Oblivion and it worked really well for them.
It did, but at the same time, imagine like the 5th game at the Xbox show is teased and it's Fallout 3, and then it's coming in like 3 to 6 months. Like I
don't
think
that's the case.
a lot more people would be interesting.
I don't know if
Interesting.
anyone's like I don't know if that's a good thing for the dev direct though. Like we already know what
Yeah.
Fallout 3 is and like sure you can go into like how it's remastered, but I don't know how much you're really going to glean
mean,
from that.
I mean,
maybe-
I know
is this
where they
gonna
can.
be-
I
Is
know
this
where
going to
they
be
can
like
announce
this?
it.
Is this going to be the same type of remaster as Oblivion?
I'm
I would
sure.
imagine
It's
so.
by that team.
Yeah, pretty much. It's the same team. Yeah, I think it's Virtuous working on this.
I mean,
one, which,
if it is October,
God
then
bless
you,
your
you
RAM.
could do a summer show. If it's
I don't
think it's
October, you could do a
October.
summer show.
Here's the thing. October. I don't think it's this year either. I could see a case. I think it's probably going to get announced at Bombs Drop Day, which is like October 26th, which is the day that the in-universe Fallout, like when the nukes dropped. I assume
Yeah.
that they're probably going to announce it there during the presentation that nobody watches because it's mostly just 76 content.
Well,
I
they,
think they'll
they said
actually
there's no
announce
Fallout
Fallout
Day
there.
this year. They said
When
there's
did they
no
say that?
Fallout Day stream. I think in the
I didn't see
tweet
that.
announcement. Let me double check, but I think I remember them saying like there's nothing this year, but we have a big event in DC next year.
See anything?
I think
Oh, no, yeah, you're
I-
right. And while we won't host a traditional Fallout Day broadcast this year, we're already planning something special for Fallout's 30th anniversary in 2027 when Fallout Day will be celebrated live in Washington, D.C. Well, maybe that, I mean, at that point, it'll probably be in October.
yeah, that
Uh.
seems more like we might see something from the Obsidian project or the New Vegas remaster rather than
Yeah.
the
I mean, but
agree.
3's in DC, so that's kind of where.
The
right,
original
but
Fallout
Comes
came
in.
out October 10th, by the way, so it's not a thing where like, oh, it released early in the year. Like, no, it released in October as well. I can't imagine they wait till October for the Fallout
Yeah, I
remaster.
don't see
though.
them
Yeah,
doing
that- That would really, especially because aren't they pretty much setting up Clockwork to be their fall game next year? And I think that would really piss me off if they put out Fallout 3 Remaster right around the same time as
I
Clockwork.
forgot you hate Fallout. Oh
Do
man,
we
you
think-
hate me a dark
No,
being
I
happy.
hate when Xbox does the stupidest release strategy of all time and buries their own games.
Do we
I
think
agree, no, I agree.
Fallout is exclusive?
No chance.
Oblivion wasn't.
Yeah, I
Oh
don't
wait,
think.
are you saying in general or are you saying for 3?
I'm saying in general,
Oh.
like we've heard that they want more exclusive games.
This is the thing is, this is not. If this was like a new title, I feel like there would be ground. This is a remaster of an old ass game that's on every platform.
No, I think
Well, okay.
I think he's moving on from that and to say like the Obsidian.
Man, Dark,
and
you gotta
Fallout
listen,
5.
man. Pay attention. I'll say this. I
Case
think
by
the
case.
Obsidian Fallout game might be exclusive,
I think so too.
which is great because by that point I'll already be on PC. Fuck you, Sony.
Go
I mean, I don't know though. I feel like Elder Scrolls is such a big IP. I feel like you get hurt if you make something like that exclusive.
I agree with. I don't think Elder Scrolls.
I
Is
mean,
gonna
I
be
agree.
exclusive.
I mean, I don't think
I
any
think
of
Elder
the
Scrolls-
Bethesda. I
I
don't
feel like
think any
you
of the
better off just
Fallout
making even a
or-
multiplayer.
I mean, I don't even think any of the Bethesda games should be exclusive because I think they'd make more money doing that. But I mean, I don't know.
But
what
then you
this
have the
new-
problem
these
of-
new guys. Yeah,
Like it's I mean it's what we've been talking about, this whole time where it's like I don't think any of the IP Microsoft wants to focus on going forward is like quote unquote small enough to be exclusive outside of maybe an Obsidian Fallout game, but even then I feel like that's going to be a big deal to most people. So it's either I don't know if you I don't know if you split enough hairs being like, okay, Elder Scrolls 6 isn't exclusive, but Fallout 5 is. Like, I feel like they're just going to continue to make things exclusive, see how they sell, and then kind of reevaluate down the road. I think they're just going to keep, like, I feel like the next few first party releases beyond Clockwork are probably going to be exclusive, especially since the Helix should be launching sometime around there, and just to see if the theory of exclusive sells consoles is still true, because that's what they say, like that's like the main thing they keep prioritizing is just like making the platform viable again, not we need to make money. Like, yes, they need to make money, but they quote unquote are fixing that through other methods and not necessarily making the games multiplayer.
I mean, I also think they're going to make comparing Gears and Halo very closely.
Yeah, I
At
agree.
the same time, like, because you mentioned Helix, I fully believe that Elder Scrolls 6 is a Helix launch title. And if that's the case, if they really are pushing exclusive, ES6 is probably the best chance you have at doing that. But also at the same time, I feel like it's a double-edged sword.
Well,
I don't know.
You still have it on PC. Like, it'll be on
Like,
PC.
that's
So
what I mean.
I think Elder Scrolls is too big. If
That's what I'm
I
saying.
mean,
Like if you're gonna do it, ES6 is the obvious choice. But at the same time, it's so big. I feel like you would negatively get affected by it as well.
I think when you do ES6, it's gonna be both on Helix and probably like Series X. Like it would be crazy if there was like it's a next gen exclusive. Then it's like no, now this thing is just not gonna sell.
I don't think that's gonna
You're
be the
not
case.
gonna make them do
I'm
that.
just talking about like exclusive to Xbox.
Yeah, I know what you
on
mean.
PC.
Okay. I don't
yeah,
think
and
it's
just time it
exclusive to that.
with
It just
with
feels like way
Helix.
too big of a title.
I just don't I don't know how they like based off of everything they're saying right now. I don't see anything not going multiplat unless it's something like a well, no, because Forza was announced before. Yeah, I don't know. I don't see. I think they're going to stick to their guns at least, like in typical fashion, at least for a set amount of time before they flip flop again. But I feel like no matter what game you pick, whether it's any of the Bethesda properties, any of the Activision, well, Activision really is only Call of Duty at this point, so it wouldn't be that, or any of the Xbox properties, I feel like it's just like they're either going to be exclusive or they're not. Because at this point, I don't think they're splitting hairs and like picking and choosing, because that also doesn't seem to be working for them.
I don't know, man. It's so hard to really like parse out because I'll be honest, I don't think they really understand what their exclusive strategy is. I think they're, I hate to say it, kind of case by case basis when it comes to these things. Personally,
Yeah,
if I'm Xbox, I'm like, why are we doing exclusives now? Let's just stick to the multi-plat strategy. But apparently they're like, no, we believe in this. It's like, fine, we'll see what happens. But if you really want to show that strategy off, then you would make Elder Scrolls 6 exclusive, and I don't think they will.
Yeah, that's the biggest power play that they have if they want to fully go to exclusive route. And I feel like it's like such a double-edged sword doing that.
Well, it's deja vu with Starfield, right? I mean, Starfield was that exact.
I mean, the thing is, but like
message.
Elder Scrolls 6 holds so much more weight than Starfield.
No, I know. I'm not trying to say that Starfield is on that same level.
I'm really trying to say, like, and I know that they tested it, but I feel like the Starfield kind of died out really quickly after launch. Elder Scrolls is something like people still talk about Skyrim religiously, but like, I don't know.
But that's the issue, is that, I mean, Starfield didn't live up to expectations. There's no way Elder Scrolls 6 lives up to expectations. And so if it is exclusive and it is like a disappointment, then they really might be cratering themselves on that.
I mean, that's the thing, Bob. It's not even about like meeting expectations because it never will because of how long it's been. And I just don't think Bethesda's got the talent to reach the same levels, but it's just about like making something that people want to play for a long time. And I don't think Starfield was that. And I think with Elder Scrolls, it's like, listen, say what you want about Skyrim, but like that was a revolutionary game. If they can try to recreate that magic, more power to them. I don't believe in them either, Bob, at all, especially after Starfield. But like, I don't even think it needs to be a 10 out of 10 to get people to buy Xboxes.
No,
But, like,
and I
To meet
agree.
those expectations, it needs a 10 out of 10.
My worry is it became very clear with Starfield they didn't learn nearly as much as they should have from all of the, feedback from Fallout 4 and Skyrim,
not at
even
all.
like 13 years later. And
That's
a lot
my
of people
biggest
are like,
problem with
this
them.
still
They-
feels stuck in late 2000s. If the Elder Scrolls 6 still feels like it's stuck in the late 2000s on the creation engine, we have a problem.
That's the thing, Bob, is like, I feel like with Fallout 4, they were able to get away with it because it was still that like classic Bethesda roaming around that people love so much, including myself. The problem with Starfield is that it wasn't that. And I think people are like way more keen to point out the major issues and the things that they're still stuck on because there's so many like, hey, dude, why am I still like when I talk to someone, why is it zooming in on their face like it's Oblivion?
Right.
Because they don't have the kind of, for lack of a better word, keys jangling of the go out, pick a direction, and explore. And there's cool shit everywhere you see. And that's what people love Bethesda games for, including myself. And I think Starfield lacked that, which made people point out the flaws of it way more. So really, if Elder Scrolls doesn't do procedural generation, at least to the severe degree that Starfield did, I think it will be fine. But even then, I'm just like, I don't know, man. It's so hard to believe in Bethesda right now. I want to believe in them because they are very important to me, but I just don't know if they have it in them anymore. Especially when like other RPG developers like Larian and CD Projekt are just lapping them and constantly releasing their games like right in the same year as theirs. It's like, ooh, this looks way worse.
Well, and that's the problem, right? Is like, Elder Scrolls 6 is probably releasing in some sort of window with Witcher 4. What window that is, I don't know. That's going to be a tough comparison if Bethesda has not like upped their game a little bit, because we know for a fact CD Projekt Red has.
Yeah. Can I be real with you guys? I was
Yeah.
really thinking about picking up Cyberpunk. Started playing that. I started thinking about it. I really want to play that game now. But don't tell
you
Faith
never played it?
because he'll act like he's better.
Yes.
Like,
You never
It's
played it.
so
It's
good.
amazing.
I played it. I played most of it.
Okay, that's what I thought. I'm like, wait, you've played it before.
I played
You
most of it.
never played it.
No, I played most of it at launch on my
Cool.
PlayStation 4,
Right.
my base
No,
PlayStation 4.
play the new version of the DLC. It's incredible.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is I basically haven't played it because it's just a new game now.
Yeah,
I played that
it's
launch
so
version,
good.
which is
The DLC
horrible.
is phenomenal.
Anyways, yeah, whatever. That was just a quick thought I had. But yeah, I don't know. I guess just with general, we should probably talk about this Obsidian Fallout. It is interesting they're outright talking about it, and it is. I do love the way Todd talks about it. It's like, yeah, we're excited to work with Obsidian. You know, we want to work on it. It's like, according to reports, you guys were the ones that blocked it being a Fallout project in the first place. So it almost feels like a forced friendship thing now. I'm surprised they even outright announced it, though. I'm honestly pretty happy that they announced it. I was like, yeah, just say it out loud. It's like, yeah, Obsidian was working on Fallout. Everyone knows this by now. I'm surprised, honestly, that Todd Howard did an interview with Jason Schreier after he already leaked it.
So that's the thing, is that Bench mentioned this earlier. It whether it's a jangle the keys to not talk about the layoffs, or whatever, the fact that Todd Howard is just available for interviews to Jez Corden and Jason Schreier out of nowhere, and then they're dropping all of the Fallout news everyone's been wanting to hear. It's like, okay, this is such an obvious please stop talking about the layoffs move.
It's a marketing move for sure.
Yeah, it really just rings hollow to an extent. I know it should be exciting, but
I mean, it's the Aaron Greenberg special.
I don't think any of us are giving credit to Xbox for this. No. Let's just be completely real. No one is wanting to go great job, Xbox, you did it again. It's like, no, they still suck. But it is that they are just people are just love Fallout so much that they're like, listen, it is tough because I love I hate what Xbox is doing, but it is exciting to at least know Fallout stuff is on the horizon.
Yeah, and that's kind of the double-edged sword of no one's trying to give Xbox credit here, but at least the one thing that people have been asking for is hey, can you make games for the IPs I love? And they're at least trying to do
finally
more
go
of
to
that.
it. Yeah, because it was very much you could tell the Phil era. He was like, yeah, do what you want. I'll listen to you guys. And I was just like, no, you're doing this. You're making a Fallout game. I'm sorry. I don't care about Avowed 2. Let's be real here.
I mean, if you think about it too, something that does make me happy before we move on from it, because we were always talking about how they were stuck between choosing Elder Scrolls or Fallout.
Yeah.
Now we're gonna have it so that we have Fallout 3. That's the first one coming up, but then we have a couple years down the road, New Vegas, and then the Obsidian project. By the time all that's done, presumably, if everything goes well, Elder Scrolls 6 will be done. The expansions, if they're most likely gonna have them, they will already be well into their way into Fallout 5. Is it 5? Yeah, 5.
Yeah, Fallout 5.
I'd also love Obsidian.
Sorry, go ahead.
I'd love for Obsidian to just, after they're done with their Fallout game, hey, make an Elder Scrolls game.
I mean, that's the thing. They probably, I imagine, Avowed 2 gets retooled into an Elder Scrolls game.
Yeah. It is very funny that Obsidian's two biggest games and two biggest game designs are literally just Elder Scrolls and Fallout. It works, but
it's you're always thinking about, hey, where's the Elder Scrolls?
I've always been mean to Obsidian in the past about this, where I'm just I think they work better in other people's IP than their own, which I know sounds mean, but I'm your best games are other people's IP, like South Park Stick of Truth, Fallout New Vegas, KOTOR 2. Those are widely regarded as their best games, and it's not IP that they created. But hey, maybe I'm curious to see the future of Obsidian. I do want to really play Outer Worlds 2 as well, so eventually get to that. Because I have heard that has a lot of great Fallout vibes, for lack of a better word.
I do the one thing that we haven't brought up yet, and I'm still curious. I think, I mean, we've talked about it in a few different places, but I think Bench had mentioned it, where it's what is In Exile doing after Clockwork? In a perfect world, Clockwork does great and they get to do more Clockwork stuff. Something tells me they are going back to the Bethesda mines and
Yeah,
doing
that sounds very,
something
very
with it, because it's like it's another thing of like, oh, that's really convenient for them that they're now making first person role playing games with choices and
Yeah,
consequences.
interesting.
Huh. Well, that'll work for you guys want Fallout? Cool. You're getting 20 fucking Fallouts in the next 10 years.
But like that excites me way more than like the Outer Worlds or Avowed. Is the unfortunate part. Like I'd rather them all make
He said it,
Well,
Bethesda
homie.
games.
I agree.
I'm more talking Clockwork at that point. Like I do think
Yeah.
Clockwork looks way cooler than like admittedly I love the Outer Worlds, but Clockwork is doing something completely different than just
I
like
think, honestly, Bob, I think Clockwork should have been on PlayStation because I feel like that game could like be a secret major hit, and I don't know why it's not on PlayStation. I get the exclusive strategy, I get it, but like it's just we're doing that now, like randomly. I don't know. We'll see. I do want to talk about also Fallout 5. They didn't had any details, but just said we're in pre-production. Pre-production meaning they have a Todd drew a picture of Vault Boy. It was like, hey guys, we're in
Well, maybe they
pre-production right
have
now. We're
the
getting
location.
something going. They definitely have a location. I mean, really, right now the big group. They were very much hinting towards like going to the West Coast, most likely San Francisco, which is like cool, I guess. I don't know.
it's
It's hard
either
to
San
really feel
Francisco or
anything for Fallout
Seattle.
5.
Go to Texas.
That's what
come
I'm
on
saying,
down.
Bench. I've been wanting Texas, but not Dallas, not Houston. That's
I
the
feel
Well,
thing.
no, they could kind of like mix them all together. Like they could have Austin, Houston, and Dallas, kind of the triangle.
Oh,
Be
like
like
a
the three
GTA
major
thing, where
locations.
it's like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's like all of them. Yeah, I get.
Let's do El Paso. Let's just
I
ignore
feel like
all of those. Let's do El Paso.
I think they would do honestly San Antonio before Houston, or not Houston, San Antonio before Austin.
Well,
because
yeah,
yeah,
Austin
but
would really have
Austin's
the
a
game.
capital though.
even better. We can throw Austin to the trash where it belongs.
That's the pro. Yeah, listen. Selfishly, I don't want Austin because I fucking hate Austin. Selfishly, I don't want Houston. Just do Dallas. You know,
No.
let's do it.
I would love to
Anyways.
see Seattle personally.
Seattle would be sick.
That'd be great. Like Last of Us did Seattle great, so I definitely agree.
Let's talk about the next story we have here. We got some early estimates for GTA 6 pre-orders. This is Chris Scullion over at VGC. GTA 6 is the strongest pre-order campaign on record, is on track to sell 37 to 51 million in week one, analytics firm says. Let's see. The video game market data research and insights firm has released news analysis on the first week of pre-orders based on digital spending data. This is according to Newzoo. According to its analytics, around 180 million was spent on digital pre-orders across the US and 5 large European markets during the last week of June. By using the player distribution of GTA 5 as a guide, Newzoo has estimated that the total global spend was around $260 million in the first week of pre-orders. That kicks off the strongest pre-order campaign ever recorded. The company also used this data to predict first week sales for Grand Theft Auto 6 when it's released in November. According to Newzoo, hit titles usually follow 3 sales curves: brand new IP, sequel with performance uncertainty, and the proven sequel. The firm suggests GTA 6 will follow the proven sequel model and predicts that the first week pre-order sales account for roughly 5.8% of the total sales by the end of the game's actual launch week. With that model in mind, Newzoo believes that the game is on pace to reach 4.5 billion sales by the end of its first week on sale, meaning roughly 51 million copies sold. So this is just an estimate from like a analytics firm. 51 million seems a lot. I don't know if I fully believe that number, but I don't really like 37 million for a first week. That kind of sounds right to me with how long this has been hyped up for.
Yeah, I think it could do like 40 in like a week.
Yeah,
I think
awesome.
whatever we think it's going to do, it's going to probably do more. And it's going to somehow surprise us.
It's one of those things where it's like when you put in the numbers of GTA 5, the people that are still like constantly playing GTA Online, and the time spent and the marketing, it does sound right for it to be about like a 40 million seller in its first week. It's just funny because like what we heard is that this game has like at least like $1 billion budget. It's gonna immediately beat that budget. It's gonna make that money back and then some if these numbers are to be believed. And really, don't I don't see a way where it doesn't reach these numbers, at least eventually. Bob, what do you think?
What was the analyst who said it can't? Was it the $70 or was it a figure that like it can't sell this amount or it will be considered a failure? Do you remember what that figure was? I can't
I
remember
know,
off the top of my head.
I know what you're talking about, but I don't remember the exact figure. It's like,
Like,
was it in terms of price point?
I want to say it was. I thought he said something like, "Yeah, if it sells like 15 million its first week, it's a failure," or something.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
that's what. No, I remember because it was 10 million. If
Okay,
it sells
yeah.
10 million in its first week, it's a failure.
And it's
honestly,
really funny.
Yeah, there's no chance. Yeah,
Right,
there's
yeah,
gonna
it's
sell more than
it's
that.
funny to think that like they said that and we're all like, okay, it's still, like, yeah, sure, they're probably going to beat it, but like it's still the video game industry. It's hard to really get those kind of sales. And then we see this and it's like, yeah, man, this is chess, not checkers. Like this is just a completely different beast. I mean, we saw, how PlayStation's already bending over backwards to market it. We're seeing, I mean, I don't know if you saw this, Wolf, but there's all of a sudden another rise in the GTA role playing community, like with popular streamers and stuff. A lot of people are going back and playing more of it because I think it's in the like, consciousness again, to an extent, and I think that's only going to grow with another trailer. It's only going to grow with
if we ever
get
that other trailer. I'm going fucking crazy, dude.
I want to believe in August. I think we're going to get 2 very needed trailers in August. But yeah, I think, and by 2 I mean one of them's not GTA related, but I'm sure we'll talk about that. But yeah, I just think that the amount of people I have heard anecdotally be like, yeah, I'm either buying one or like I'm turning it on for the first time or like this is what I've been waiting for with GTA. It's like it's so many people. And yeah, it's just gonna do a ridiculous amount.
Yeah, that's gonna be pretty comical when we see its sales data after the first week, and we're like, damn. And that's before online, but online is gonna make even more money for Rockstar. So it's one of those things. I give Strauss Zelnick a lot of shit. I will always give him this: the fact that he allowed GTA 6 to be delayed as much as it was, because like I feel like a lot of other CEOs would be like, hell no, we need something for the fiscal quarter, and Strauss is like, we gotta let it delay, and like. Clearly, it's going to be worth it in the end. Let's move into our next story. Dark, big Halo guy. Halo Studios. I know you're a big fan of them. You loved Halo 5, right?
Don't get me started, bro.
Halo Studios reportedly cancels Halo multiplayer Project Ecker, which had customizable Spartans and elites in large player battles. This is from Robert Purchase over at Eurogamer. Halo reporter Rebs Gaming originated the story on YouTube, saying they'd heard from multiple employees at Halo Studios that Project Ecker was no longer in development. The claim was backed up this afternoon by Microsoft Connected Windows Central reporter Jez Corden, who said this information was 100% true. A week earlier, however, Rebs Gaming had declared Project Ecker would be the next multiplayer Halo game, based on information from someone who'd worked with Halo Studios, plus a separate someone else. Nevertheless, a recent development changed this outcome and prompted the newer claim that the project is dead. Nowhere does Rebs Gaming mention the Xbox cuts as a reason as to why this happened. The only explanation cited is, quote, major development problems with Halo 1 Remake. Halo campaign evolved, which apparently sucked people away. Sometime after that, Ecker was canceled, said Rebs Gaming, giving no further detail.
How does Halo
First off,
have problems?
I gotta say, we're having problems remaking a Halo 1? It's like your second time doing this. So
Can we not have anything nice in this fucking community, bro, of Halo? I swear to God. Like, we can't
it feels
shit.
like this. I hate to be this guy. Halo's not hard. I don't think it's hard to make. Like, truly, I mean that. In the sense of, like, I get why, like, a GTA or an Elder Scrolls or a Fallout is difficult to make. Halo, it's like, put Master Chief on a remote planet. He's got to shoot the Covenant. Oh, no. And then you get out and you escape and you're all happy. That's so easy. Like, I'm not crazy, right? Like, this is not a franchise that should be this difficult for Halo Studios to get right. Apparently, the shooting is good. That's the hard part.
Like, if you look at Gears of War, right? Because all the Gears of War games have been received fairly well, but 5, they took the negative feedback. They disappeared. They went off the face of the planet for a couple years, and then they came back, and things are looking smooth, fixed. Why is it with Halo? It's just they're stepping on rakes nonstop.
Yep.
I'm like, it
Very
can't be like this, bro. And then not only that, it's like, yeah, the Halo Combat 1, the Halo 1 remake, it looks good. Even with the changes, it looks good. But it's still, like, incomplete because it's just a campaign. How are we getting, like, not feature complete games?
It's just weird to me, man. I don't know. We will see. Hopefully soon something goes on. Did you see also, Dark, the reports about, like, the mismanagement within Halo Studios and, like,
I've been
kind of a lot of
watching
the
that
bad things?
specifically. A lot of the reports were coming from the art side of things, and a lot of the artists from Halo have left, and they've been making claims that they've been pushing AI art and all types of stuff really heavily. It sounds believable from what's been happening, and the people have been laid off. It's just sadness.
It's ridiculous, yeah, man. Abop, any thoughts on this big Halo
I
game?
fucking hate the studio, and it just completely continues to be mismanaged the second Bungie gave them the reins, and it just drives me insane.
Hold
how
up,
it's like-
because why are we
they
shitting on
keep
Halo
getting
4?
more responsibilities too. That's the funniest part.
yeah, I mean it's like
Matt Booty does
I,
it again.
I just don't understand how like they needed to create an entirely new engine just to get rid of it, just to go to Unreal, just to not like properly make Unreal work with the Blam engine. And it's like, guys, yeah, they just make every single mountain out of every single molehill. And I just don't understand how. I mean, we saw the you know the big changes and the rebrand. You know, a year or two ago, but it's like it's gonna take a while for that stuff to hopefully weed out, or it's gonna continue, and they didn't get rid of the right people. And it's like, man, I've never seen a franchise that is technically still being made by quote unquote, I know it's not Bungie anymore, but it's like the franchise is still being made by a lot of the pedigree from the original franchise, and yet it's just going down the toilet. Like I just don't understand how this keeps happening.
Let's move
And you
into
know,
our. Oh, sorry.
oh my bad. I was just saying, you know, every single easy one up that they've had, they fumbled traumatic. You remember the Halo TV show? You remember that? If they would
Wish
have
I didn't.
if they would have actually cared, that would have been such an easy layup. And then, like, even with Climate Evolved remake, the fact that the classic Chief armor, I forgot the name of it off the top of my head. The fact that they confirmed in the Q&A that you can't get the armor outside of those 3 missions, when Halo is known to give you exclusive armor for beating stuff on like legendary and shit. That's such an easy layup, and it's just like little things like that add up over time, and it just gets to a point where you're like, "What the fuck are we doing?"
You know, it's funny you
Yeah.
bring up the TV show. I mean, we beat it to death a million times. It sucks. But like honestly, now seeing how, you know, Fallout was adapted, freaking Twisted Metal was adapted well. Like all of these great video game like TV show adaptations, and they just completely missed the mark on the Halo TV show. Like we got Chevy Suburbans and butt cheeks. Like I just don't understand how they
Should have been an
messed
easy
up
layup
that
for the
show.
series.
Yes, it's
It's
such
so
an
like
easy
I
story
don't
to
get it.
tell. and like they could have easily pulled from the cajillion novels that have been made about, you know, that we haven't, like stories we haven't seen visualized, or retell one that we have. Like it's just terrible. But oh, this studio. Well, Wolf had to go for a second, so he told me to vamp for him. So I'm just gonna move on to the topic he has no interest in. This is coming from Wario64. The Dustbloods closed network test scheduled for August 21st through the 23rd. Network test sign up is on July 22nd and runs through the 28th. This came out of nowhere. There was no accompanying like trailer or like other information. They're just like, yeah, just do this test. So
We're gonna
that
have a test for a
seems
game that we haven't gotten a lick of footage of. We haven't seen
Yeah,
nothing
that's-
of this game.
Interesting. Like, and I'm still kind of like cautious about this game in general. I think we all are, because like I don't think a multiplayer kind of arena type thing kind of is exciting, but hopefully the network test kind of makes people fear it less.
The craziest thing that can happen from this is that despite them not showing anything, it just comes out and is like a fucking masterpiece. It's
Well,
like,
that-
wait,
you
wait,
know-
wait a minute, they got to do it the hits right now.
that's what I was gonna bring up. What is this trend of games just not showing a lick of anything, and then there's like, yeah, but like you're gonna play it, right? Like you're gonna buy it. Like between this, Zelda, and GTA, it's like, listen, I have a decent amount of faith in all of those projects. Sure, Dustbloods is probably on the lowest part of that list, but like it's still FromSoft, so I'm, you know, I have some faith. But it's like, like, is it really that secretive, or you really can't dedicate any resources to just show us, like, you know, like alpha footage or something, just to kind of, or even like an overview with concept art? Like, show us freaking just concept art of like what we're trying to do. I just
It's not enough. It's like, do you not want to hype up your game? You know, you don't want to like. You're not proud of what you made. Like, you don't want to hype it up, boost it up a little bit. Like, they're so
Like, I know-
quiet about this. Like, what's going on?
I know Xbox doesn't have a marketing budget anymore, but that doesn't mean everyone has to stop marketing their games. Like that's just, it's just crazy. Are you guys gonna sign up for the test?
I'm
Sure,
gonna
I'd
sign
love
up
to
for
get
this.
in.
Oh.
I'd love to get in and Wolf not get in. That'd be great.
I'm gonna sign up for the sole fact that I can give Wolf my key if I don't. He doesn't
I
get
think
it.
it's
'Cause I know
tied to your
he's been
Nintendo
dying
account.
to do this for who knows how long.
Is it tied to your Nintendo account?
Some of the stuff they've done before have been.
Well, they I'm gonna sneeze. It just says to apply and participate in the network test, you must have a Nintendo Switch 2 system and an active Nintendo Switch online membership. So,
Um,
yeah, I guess it would be
we shall
large
see.
scale network load.
Do you think that because of the partnership with Nintendo, they're not allowed to show anything until Nintendo, let's say, in a direct?
Dude, I hope not, because
'Cause this is really weird behavior. But then, like, you think about it with Nintendo, like, wait a minute, you know,
hey, you know what, Dark? Maybe they don't have the dev kits yet. You know, we can't rule out the fact that maybe they still don't have the dev kits, and you know the ports will be coming. I just looking through this announcement a little bit. So they're testing the server load. They're testing multiplayer in different network environments and various phenomena that may occur. I love that phrasing. Balancing test to see if they made it way too hard, which they usually do. Allows for 8 players to participate together in each of the multiplayer matches while the game is still in development. So that's 4v4, right? Is what I'm assuming.
is it confirmed to be team based, or is it just like a battle royale?
I don't know. I don't know, Dark.
Is it just everyone made it for themselves? Is it 2v2? Like, I don't know.
I feel like 4v4 makes the most sense in this context, but yeah, I mean, it could be 2v2. It could be a free for all. I just feel like with Night Rain, they've kind of made it, you know, that's why I go to team based, just because I think of Night Rain. But yeah, I don't know. But we will know August 7th at 6 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 9 a.m. East Coast time, who will be selected for this network test. So,
Imagine for like whatever their next main project is, if it's like not about to say Elder Scrolls, if it's Elden Ring 2 or like Dark Souls 4, they don't show anything. They just random like here's the network test, and it's like the biggest fucking game of all time.
dude, these video game companies, man, they're getting too comfortable. They're getting too comfortable. And speaking of, shout out in the replies to this tweet, the hippest, who says this game will have a physical version. If it were up to Sony, it would be digital only. Thank Nintendo, it's a Switch 2 exclusive. It's just like, okay, we're really grasping at straws to take our shots at Sony, but
Yeah,
whatever.
my
They did
goat.
what they can.
Well, we'll have to ask Wolf once he comes back if what he thinks about
I
Dust Bloods.
think Wolf is just practicing their form of marketing. He's just not saying anything.
Oh, he's just gonna pop up randomly and be like, "Yep,
let us know."
My goats.
maybe he's finally changing." No, he did change his fire alarm, right? Or his
I'm not
smoke
sure.
detector.
Did he get new batteries?
I'm not to throw him, under the spotlight, but the fact that the smoke alarm noise started to like blend in and he couldn't tell anymore, that just blows my mind. That thing is so loud.
I mean,
I don't know how
at a
anyone
certain
just
point you
like
just get used to it.
that makes no sense to me, Dark. That just doesn't make any sense to me.
I mean, I guess it's more common for me because I'm in New York. But like when you go into houses,
Sure.
like you hear that.
Oh,
often.
I hear. Trust me, when I go and take out the trash and I pass by some of these other apartments, I definitely
hear it
hear
all
it
the time.
too.
But like it kind of
But-
just gets like mixed into the noise. You just kind of just get used to it.
I don't know. That's like telling me, like, yeah, we just fire a bullhorn off every 10 minutes, and you just kind of get used to it after a while. Like, yeah, it pierces your ears, but it's okay.
City life is like that, man.
Yeah.
I'm back. Sorry about
Welcome
Hey,
that.
back.
Wolf.
You guys just paused?
We were
we kept
just
going.
we were talking about dust bloods and fire or
Oh.
smoke detectors.
Did my smoke detector go off?
No, we just assumed you were changing the battery again.
No.
We're in the conversation.
It was not the smoke detector. It was someone came over to inspect something, and I didn't realize it was today. Did you pause the cast though, or are we still going?
Oh no, we've been going.
You
I-
just
I-
missed.
Oh.
We finished talking about Dusk Bloods. Do you have any
Yeah.
thoughts on it?
Oh yeah. Sorry, audience. I'm back. Yeah, Dustbloods is interesting because it's like we don't know anything about it right now. So it'd be very funny if we just go into this playtest completely blind. Like, yeah, you don't need to know anything about it. It's the next FromSoft game. You'll play it. Yada yada yada. And like I'm intrigued by that idea, but I would like at least a gameplay trailer. They say the network sign up is July 22nd to 28th. I'm gonna need all of you to sign up for me. All right. I want to get into this. So help me out there.
If this game is successful, it low-key feels like something Kojima would do. Where he'll just be like, hey, I'm making a game. I'm not gonna show you anything. I'm just gonna give you a date. When it comes out, you're gonna buy it. You know if
Yeah,
people are gonna go buy
That's
it.
kind of what they're doing. I mean, they're like, yeah, we trust you, FromSoft. I think FromSoft is this in an interesting position where they are allowed to experiment. And I think that's awesome. I want them to experiment, especially because they get their games out in a timely manner. So it doesn't feel like I'm waiting like 5 years for the next FromSoft game, and it's like, oh, it's a multiplayer extraction game. Like, oh, okay, well, that's
I
tough.
brought up-
Like, there's 5 years wasted. Instead, it's like I'll probably get the next big FromSoft game like the next year or two, which is very exciting.
I brought up the idea that maybe they're not allowed to really show anything because of like a deal with Nintendo.
I don't think it's a deal, more so that Nintendo just likes showing stuff off at one of their shows. I could see a Dustbloods Direct happening before this closed network test. Like that seems much more likely than just like not showing anything about this game and then being like, you'll play it. And it's like, okay, fair enough.
Now, Wolf,
but
what
yeah.
about my theory They just
What's
don't
your
have the
theory?
dev kits yet.
They definitely have the dev kits, Bob.
I don't know. I don't know.
That would be
Also,
very funny if Nintendo was like, "Yeah, no, we can't give you dev kits." It's like, what?
yeah,
We
just
make
make
it
the
the
game,
game.
and then we're gonna give you the dev kits afterwards, and just figure it out.
Yeah.
I do have a question for you. If you do get into this multiplayer test, are you ready to experience the various phenomena that may occur by having many users participate?
Bad servers.
That's
No,
the wording that I use.
that's the wording they use, and I just think that's the funniest thing I've ever heard about a multiplayer test.
It
Wolf's
is
gonna get
very
sucked into the
funny.
game like SAO.
It's interesting because it's like Night Rain servers are okay. They're better than like Elden Rings, but like it's still like, come on. It's not like COD servers where it's like, oh, they're flawless. Even then, COD servers aren't really flawless. It's FromSoft is pretty behind on their internet tech, and Nintendo is behind on their internet tech, which is why I always call this game evil, because I'm like, that's a scary combination of an always online FromSoft Nintendo game. I feel like they understand that though, and they're like, this is why they're doing this network test, because it's like, listen, we got to make sure this is stress test. I will say this: I think for sure this game's getting delayed out of this year, and it's probably like a 2027 game.
Yeah.
But who knows? I just don't see any space for it. We will see though. Dustbloods, I hope you're good. I'm excited still. It's just like we know nothing about it right now. Let's talk about our topic of the show. Boys, I wanted to host a State of the Union, but apparently the US did that 6 months ago. So we're going to host the State of the Gamer Union. Basically talk about everything going on in the industry in a more broad sense and how a lot of these companies are looking and shaping up to be looking like in the next year to 5 years, and how we're just currently feeling about them. I'll start honestly just like a broad question. How are you guys feeling about the state of the gaming industry just as a whole?
Depressing, bro.
Yeah, I
It's-
mean,
I
it's just
think-
bad timing. It's hard not to feel a bit down right now because we've just been getting an onslaught of negative news. But I know there's hope out there. I just feel bad
It's
right now.
definitely down, but it's weird because we're having like the best game releases we've had all decade consistently. Like we're getting some really high quality games, and the rest of this year and all of 2027 look like a run that hasn't been done in a long time. But it's just everything surrounding it is pretty down.
Yeah, I think that's kind of how I'm feeling. Where I'm just like, the games are still great, and I think they've been great. At least to me, like certain areas of games. I think there are other like types of games that I've been like kind of down on. There's a few releases this year that I wasn't really hitting for me, but I think stuff like Capcom, the Japanese industry, has been looking really good. I just look at it as like whenever I have to talk about the actual news and the things going on in the actual industry, it feels like there's never anything positive. Which is funny because there are things that are positive. There are like cases where it's like, oh, this company sold this amount of units and everything's looking well, but then this is happening and it's rough. And I don't know. It's really hard not to feel negative after the Sony announcement. I'll just be real. I would probably come in here more of an optimist about everything, but that announcement put me in such a sour mood about the gaming industry to the point where I'm like, I don't even know how much I really want to be excited. I don't feel as excited to cover it anymore the same way I used to, just because of that one announcement, which shows I think about this stuff too much. And I need to be like, you know what? Actually, the games themselves are still fun. But damn it, dude, I fucking hate Sony so much right now. They're such a dog shit company, and it's hard not, and especially like Microsoft, I don't really care about them either. Hey, shout out to Nintendo. You know what? Whatever. There you go.
Listen, I got a
Nintendo might be
PlayStation
doing
the
their own thing.
goats. Saros was great.
No, it wasn't.
I feel like Saros has not been talked about since the month it
Really
came
fun
out.
game.
I felt kind of, that was one of the disappointing releases I was talking about. It just felt like a neutered Returnal. But Dark, you were gonna say something?
No, I just said Nintendo kind of just doing their own thing.
I mean, yeah, it worked though. That's the thing, man. It's like maybe doing your own thing. They made that decision like 20 years ago. It's like we're not gonna try to fight like the hardware like power race anymore. And it worked out for them. And it's like really, if you want the power, go to PC, and then if you want the exclusive, go to Nintendo, and that seems to be just the best case scenario for anyone wanting to get into gaming now.
I mean, what if like every game studio moves to Japan and Asia? Because it
Oh,
seems
no.
like things are great over there.
I mean,
Well,
that's
that's how it
really
works.
just comes down to how much they. Yeah, really. For one, it's not how it works. But like Japan seems to be doing well just because rate of living there isn't as expensive, so the employees don't have to be paid as expensive of salaries, and I think the expectations are a lot more in line. There isn't these like sky high, like it needs to sell 5 million copies on its first week. Layoffs are not nearly as permissible as they are. Like I think right now, like the East, just not even just Japan, but like China, Korea, just
Yeah.
East Asia in general seems to be flourishing right now because I think they were able to keep their development budgets in line and allow these games to do way better comparatively to games that technically may sell more units, but they lost more money in the long run. So sucks for Fusion, good for Bench. That's what I'm saying. Let's talk about the individual companies. I want to start with Sony. What is the feeling on Sony right now? For myself, I think they fucking stink. And honestly, a lot of that is the disc stuff. But even then, I just think about all the really bad decisions that I feel like Sony's been making, especially in lieu of their just the competition not really existing right now for them. And I'm like, I don't really feel any excitement towards that brand whatsoever. There's good games, but like there's good games everywhere. I can live without them.
So I was not here to discuss the Sony news. I was not avoiding it like Bob likes to say because I wasn't here to discuss the Xbox news either.
I didn't
I've
claim
just
you
been a
did.
busy guy. I've
Busy
been
guy.
busy.
He's the busy guy now.
But for PlayStation, I have not owned a digital copy of a game in probably like a decade. At this
Dang,
point,
you're a disc bro too. Shout outs, Bench.
I misspoke. I've not owned a disc or
Hey, you know
physical
what?
copy
Welcome
of
to
a
the club,
game.
bro.
I have not owned a physical copy of a game in a very, very long time. I've been digital only. I know Jack has had some poor experiences with digital ownership, which I sympathize with, but at the same time, like, I like digital games. It's my preferred method. I like to say I own them, even though I guess it's technically not true.
You
But I like
definitely
to
don't
think
own 'em.
that. But I think I own them, so that's what matters. So PlayStation's news of switching to digital only is unfortunate, but I will still buy the next PlayStation. I'm still excited about their future. I think, unfortunately, for the people that care, like Wolf and Jack, it's not going to really hinder them the way I think most the outrage seems to think it will. Because I think people are still going to show up. Like, what if they show up with a new Uncharted? People are going to show up. So I guess that's kind of my stance on that.
My
I mean, you
argument, Bench,
mentioned
for one, you say it's like it's not going to affect you. It will affect you. I'll just say that right now, just in terms of pricing. My thing is, I'm fine with like digital games. Like, I don't really have a problem with that. I bought digital
I
games.
mean,
The issue just comes down to the fact that digital ownership does not exist, and it really should. When people are losing stuff that they bought and paid for because of account malpractice, hackers, and people getting into this things that they really shouldn't have access to because of shoddy security. On top of that, the companies themselves saying, no, actually, you don't get to own that anymore. We're just going to take that from you, like the 500 movies. We could say all we want about how it doesn't matter until it starts to affect us directly. And it's like, no, it then does start to matter. And like, let's worry about this now before being like, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. It's like, no, we've crossed that bridge several times by now. I think it is
oh, for sure.
more, if anything, listen, do the fine physical game, whatever. I'm depressed, whatever. Give me digital ownership. Don't do this EULA. Oh, you don't technically own the game. If I buy a game from you, I should own it. And listen, I'm going to say it. I'm going to say the word NFT. If it was used right, if NFTs were used right and not by crypto bros, that was digital ownership. But
And I guess you
the
can
wrong
say
people got their hands on it.
it's probably not forward thinking, weak willed maybe, but like it's just not a hill I'm worth dying on. Like having switched to PC about 3 months ago, and really like that's where I game now. It's where I play all my games that are not exclusive, and will be that way forever. So having to buy a first party PlayStation game 2 or 3 times a year, or a first party Nintendo game maybe 6 or 7 times a year, is just like I'm fine with that. I it's kind of the cycle I'm in. So I'm not personally. I
I'm
know
not saying I'm not saying like you should be mad about it or anything.
no, and
That's
I'm
what
not
I'm
saying like, and I'm also trying not to say like y'all shouldn't be mad about it or take a stance on it. It's just personally like my stance is that I'm still gonna buy a PS6 and play 3 games on it a year and
I
love
think
those games. At the same time, like unfortunately for the people like you and Jack, my Fusion to a lesser extent, because I know he's still gonna be buying PlayStation consoles. Uh,
that's the
don't think
thing.
it's like I think the PS6 is still going to sell great if they position themselves correctly to the fact that like, hey, games got to be exclusive. Like a new Uncharted can't be cross-gen.
Here's my thing, Bench. I don't think PlayStation realizes how much this is actually going to affect them because I'm switching to PC. Unfortunately, it's a garbage platform, but do what you got to do. I I know a lot of people that I've seen where it's just like, yeah, no, this is the thing that was keeping me on PlayStation. I'm done. I'm switching to PC. And it really is, Bench. It's not even just the physical thing. It's just everything. It feels like constant chinks in the armor. Is that the word? I think I
Yes.
said
Yeah.
something wrong.
Yes.
Oh,
No,
okay.
you,
That's
you
okay.
covered it.
It technically, yeah. Look, you're good. You're
Yeah,
good.
let's just move on. But it's constant hits in the arbor where PlayStation is taking a lot of damage and they're not giving anything in return. They're not allowing any sense of like, oh, well, we're doing this for you. We're helping you out here. You still can't gift games on PlayStation. And we talked all about it. I mean, me, Dark, and Bob, we talked about it when it first broke, all the things that they don't allow on their digital storefront, plus all the other bad news that has come out of PlayStation, plus the fact that, as you said, Bench, 2 or 3 PlayStation exclusives a year, there's just less and less of a reason to own a PlayStation more than ever. And we could say all we want about like the next Uncharted game, but honestly, I'm with Bob where they're probably going to go back and on their word on the PC thing and eventually start releasing those games on PC again. And like maybe it will be a year or two later, but I think they're going to realize they're going to be in for a big reckoning when nobody is buying a PS6. And I just
Maybe,
don't
but
see a reason how that thing is going to do well if you are actively alienating the hardcore fan base every single day.
I just have a
No.
vastly different viewpoint. I think the PS6 will still just be successful. Maybe not. I don't think like
But
as
based on
successful as
what?
PS5, but
What will
like
make it
I still think
successful? Is
people.
it just
I
because
still.
it's a PlayStation?
Yeah, I think it's people are still going to show up. That's I guess what it boils down to.
You don't
But
think so? So here,
What will
okay.
make someone switch from PS5 to PS6? That's what I want to ask.
Exclusive games.
What exclusive games though? Like,
I think-
because like they would have switched. I just do you think they'll even get exclusive games in the first few years of PS6? Because I don't.
Yes,
I think at
no,
most
my-
you'll maybe get one, but
this
most of
is-
them are going to be on PS5.
No, this is what I disagree about. My viewpoint is that pretty much everything's going to be exclusive after launch day. Like I think God of War trilogy, it's very likely
That's-
exclusive.
So
That was
okay,
never announced with PS5 logo, if I'm remembering correctly.
yeah, this is what we
I
need
think
to
that
break
was
down though.
intentional.
Like this is the state of PlayStation and where we're gonna be in 5 years because like the PS6 in general and all of the questions that are surrounding it is the crux of where they're going forward because
Yeah.
I mean I think Bench is justified in his opinion because that's how the PS5 worked. I just feel like we're in a different era where there's not like the other reason people were getting PS5s at launch is because there was a significant upgrade. There isn't that significant technological upgrade that we're getting from a PS5 to a PS6. And
Mhm.
on top of that, it's almost guaranteed to be $1,000, if not
Oh,
I
I disagree.
I know
see-
you disagree, Bench, but the PS5 Pro is $900, and they're
I
not
think
going to
it's gonna
sell
be
a
less.
PS6.
They're
They're not going to
selling
sell a
it for a
lot.
PS6
They're-
lower than a
that's-
PS5.
Here's the thing.
I disagree.
Here's the thing. They already said they're not selling it for a loss. They've straight up said that, and we know through Moore's Law is dead that the bill of materials is at like $950. I think it was. So clearly, I just
I-
can't imagine it's going to be for less than 1,000.
Not
Especially
only
with
that,
2027.
Like I think it's going to be 800. So
Yeah, I don't see
So
that happening.
okay,
But not only that,
so well, go ahead, Dark. Go
yeah,
ahead.
the one thing that Bench mentioned briefly that kind of got skipped. He mentioned that digital was his preferred method. The problem is, right? They're taking away method, and the thing is, this is just like, yeah, everyone's thinking, oh, this could be. There's no telling how far they can really take this. So yeah, it can start with this, but then like, what if they start taking away like how shit works digitally and makes it even more restrictive?
because that's
like
not what
DRM.
that's not why they're getting rid of discs. They're
No, I
getting
know.
rid of
Like,
discs.
I'm saying like they're taking stuff away from. You're not getting nothing. They're taking stuff
I
away.
mean-
But the way you're taking it a step further, assuming that they're doing this just to be fully
No,
anti-consumer.
I know why they're doing
which they-
this.
Wait,
Like,
what-
I'm also saying, like, if you're starting with this, what's stopping them from continuing it?
But I think the reason they're doing it is because it's going to save them hundreds of millions of dollars and give them.
That's
money.
not the only reason they're doing it, Bench. They're doing it because
Yeah,
they want full control over the digital ecosystem. They want
Right,
to be
they're gonna
fully
own the
in
storefront.
control.
I mean,
And if
I
that's the
think they're
case,
doing it for
Where
not
where
printing the
where's
discs.
where do they stop with this? You know?
I think
also
we just
what-
vastly disagree on this situation, which
But,
is
like,
fine.
But also, okay, so they're gonna save
Like-
hundreds of millions of dollars producing discs. For what end? They already make a shit ton of money. They're already the console leader. Like that's the part where it's like that doesn't, like, why go that extra step? And it very much seems like, oh well, they will now have control. Now I agree. I think Dark's going a little too far with it, but he's not wrong in the sense it's like once that foot's in the door, there's nothing really that can stop you from going forward because, and Wolf had mentioned this earlier, digital or like the digital game thing would be fine if there was if they like actually had a refund policy like Steam, if they actually had DRM free ownership like GOG, if
Yep.
you could pirate the games and own them in your own, messed up way like PC does. Like that's why people don't have as many issues with PC because even though
It's a fully
digital,
open
there's
platform.
there's competition and there are a lot of other facets that it's not just physical versus digital. And I think Sony's really trying to lock a lot of that down because they just want to lock the ecosystem down. And I think that's very apparent by the moves that they're making.
I mean, I started this saying I'm an optimist, and obviously so. So I think we're just gonna. I think we're just
Sure.
gonna end up talking in circles.
I
at
don't
this
think that's a
point.
problem, Bench. I think it's just like I feel like I'm just like trying to help you understand. Like there are more consequences to this than oh no, my physical disc. There are way more things, and I just feel like the last thing we want is for Sony to have even more control over their consumers.
I mean, that's true, but for me personally, like I'm gonna buy 3 games on the platform a year. Like,
Yeah,
But
that's you
that's not
personally.
good. But that's not good either. Like you have switched from the PlayStation being your main platform to PC. They're not going to be making as much money off of you as they did a couple years ago.
that's true. But
That-
my reason for switching had nothing to do with like the ecosystem.
Sure, but the point
That's
is they
still a
are
lost
losing
person.
money and they are going to need to find ways to recoup that money, and one of those ways is to stop physical discs so that they can control the marketplace more, make the console more expensive. Like I just there are certain like you said, we're gonna disagree on this. Where my real crux of this argument is, how is Sony making money on a console that so like example, if it's $800, they're gonna be selling that at a loss. Where are they recouping that money? If it's in digital ownership and through the games, who's buying the games if you can't buy the console? And you're also alienating the hardcore people. Like there's just for every like, and I'm not trying to like pick apart your argument. I just because I don't know the answer either. It's just I feel like with every point there is a question mark that I really don't feel like we have an answer to. And I honestly think that out of the big three, Sony has the most question marks because I don't think they can just ride the PS4 into PS5 momentum into the PS6.
Yeah, especially when the PS5 momentum was already losing a lot of steam, both in the beginning and now, especially now, where I feel like I saw
People still
someone
say it
talk.
doesn't have any games, which is
Yeah,
crazy. It's wrong,
yeah.
but
It's
it's
one of
just
those things where it's just like the excitement around PlayStation is gone. Like there are the hardcores like a Fusion and a Bench, and I'm not saying like you guys are wrong for that, but I feel like Bob, compare PlayStation discussions now versus like 2020. Oh man, the PS5's coming out. Oh, Ghost of Tsushima, Last of Us 2, holy, oh, whoa, they're still making these amazing games. Now everyone's just
I mean,
mad. And like we
they
can say
just
that's like an
announced a new
internet
God of
thing.
War game 3 months ago
Yeah,
that everyone loved.
not everyone. I'll say that. And I'm not
well,
even talking about the woke people or like the anti-woke. I don't give a fuck about them. I'm talking about the people who are like, it's another God of War and are disappointed
I
by that
mean,
factor. And I just think PlayStation's like, they very much in this, let's just ride the wave. And it's like, sooner or later, you got to actually make a new wave. Otherwise, you're just going to be riding this wave till it eventually dissipates and you're just left stranded in the middle of the ocean. That's a kind of fire analogy. I'm just going to say that right now.
I mean,
Yeah,
I think I just disagree with y'all, which is fine.
yeah. I think really my main point is that I think uh Xbox and Sony have made a lot of very similar bad moves in this generation, and it's like a race to the bottom. The difference is you have console sales that are dwarfing the other to kind of like that is the band-aid, because I feel like if
yeah.
the console sales were similar, which obviously there's no sense in what ifs because a lot of things would change. I just feel like Sony's been able to get away with a lot of things because they keep selling PS5s because it's kind of just been the de facto like, oh yeah, I'll buy it. It was $500. When that becomes $1,000 and you're not getting the same game output that you were before, just like as far as like being able to like, we're not getting a 2020 or a 2018 again where they put out like 3 bangers in a calendar year. And I don't
Mhm.
even know if they're going to be able to pay for exclusive like third party games like Final Fantasy because we're just in a landscape where that's not feasible for the third parties trying to take that bag.
Yeah.
So you know, I think they're very well Bench could be right and people just still buy the next console and they make exclusives and they can justify it. I just don't see with the moves they have made that will be feasible for them. Either that or they're going to have to take out of their profits, which I know they won't do. They clearly don't want to do that already. But I just feel like both of these companies are weirdly racing towards the bottom. It's just, one of them had a higher ceiling with the console sales and they have better games. I mean, let's just be real. They've won more game of the years. They have higher
Yeah.
critical acclaim and they're selling more. But like there are a lot of negative similarities than there are differences in the positives, in my opinion. But I'm also, more biased towards Xbox, so take that as you will.
Yeah, I mean, hey, listen, man, I'm anti Xbox, and I'll be like, bro, I don't feel anything for Sony right now. I don't feel much for Xbox either. I'll be honest.
And that's the
But get
problem.
to
It's,
them in a
it's
second.
like both of them kind of, it's like I want these games to come out and experience them, and that's about it.
That's the thing. Is like I don't feel any like brand loyalty towards either of them anymore. Now I'm just like I hope the studios are able to exist and keep putting out good stuff. My beloved team is Sobi, keep going, bro. I need you. But it's just worrying because I'm
Nintendo,
just
my
like
goats.
I don't trust them under PlayStation or Microsoft. Then it's like who do I trust them under? And that kind of just goes into the point of like the industry as a whole, where it's just like everyone's making cuts, everyone's downsizing, everyone's trying to reset. And it tells me that like I don't want to say there's a video game crash because video games make more money than ever, but I do think there'll be a AAA crash where you won't get EA making stuff like Dead Space anymore. We already know they aren't. We won't get Sony even making an Astro Bot anymore. It's like we got to just focus on the big heavy hitters. We got to focus on the Fortnite, the COD, the God of War, the Fallout, and like you will rarely, if even ever, get a cool like a smaller game, a double A like game, or a new IP even out of these AAA companies anymore. Let's talk
So
about
that was
Xbox.
Sony.
Yeah, I'm very bullish against Sony right now, more than I've ever been in my life. Bob, how's Xbox doing? These
You
are really
know,
good, right? You
uh,
got the Fallout games.
I really think that you know, I'm gonna disagree with this panel. I think they're gonna make the right decisions and they're gonna, you know, they're doing the right things. No, I'm kidding. They suck.
Thank God. Oof.
You were scaring me there for a second. I'm like, what is
No,
happening?
yeah, they. Uh, I just they also have question marks. I mean, I just don't. I don't know, like the exclusivity thing, is it really going to get people to convert? Because I don't think anyone's buying a next gen console. Like, it's not just like the
Yeah.
PS6 is undesirable. Like, like I don't think people can afford a next gen console if it's $1,000. Like, that's just, you know,
Especially if the current console they have now is going to be playing the same game for years.
and
And it's
that's
like,
kind of the other thing I keep bringing up is like the technological disparity. I mean, the Switch 2 is is a weaker hardware than the PS5 and the Series X, and kind of the Series S, but whatever, who cares?
mhm.
So like games aren't going to just stop being made for the Xbox and the Series X and the PlayStation 5. So it's like, where does that put? And that's why I don't know about this exclusivity thing, because I don't know if, you know, there's really going to be, like, sure, make the games exclusive so that people buy the next consoles, but it's like, I just don't know how that's going to work when people are like, I got plenty of games, especially at the clip, because that's the other thing. There's so many games being released right now that are definitely going to be released on the Series X and the PlayStation 5 for many years to come after the next gen, where it's like people are going to look at those and be like, do I really need a new console for like these 3 games? I don't know. Anyway, that was more of a third party tangent. With Xbox, yeah,
I
I
get it.
don't.
I mean, that adds to it, just like everything going on right now. It feels. I just I would not be shocked if like we were going to see a game that comes out on PS4, PS5, and PS6. Like I just
Yeah,
not even for a gimmick, but like an actual major game. Because at this point, it's like, why abandon any of these when all of them have, or at least PS4 and PS5 have millions of users each? It's like, well, you're gonna abandon all of them. It's interesting, man.
yeah, and so as far as Xbox specifically, you know, I think obviously the big question marks are exclusivity, which I don't see how it can change enough people to make it work, but they seem confident in it, so God knows, you know, what that's going to turn into. I think Game Pass is another big question mark that you know, that it hasn't been necessarily addressed by Asha and leadership, but it's been more or less, you know, murmured about, and you know, there's been little news stories here and there, little rumblings of things here and there, and I think part of the reason that they haven't made as much money as they want to is because of Game Pass and how that's affecting game sales. So I don't think Game Pass goes away, especially because technically they rebranded their online to Game Pass. So unless you're getting rid of the online multiplayer component entirely, sure, I guess get rid of everything. But if you're still going to do paid multiplayer, that is called Game Pass now. So that's going to be there if they're still going to have that. But it seems like it's inevitable. It's going to be reworked in a way to where I know me and Dark disagree on this. I don't. I think they're going to somehow get rid of the first party day and date on there and change it to some sort of
I just don't
compromise.
see that happening, man.
I know,
but you have to keep in mind, if you were telling this, like, so let's say you were proposing the idea of Game Pass, right? And you were suggesting this would make sense. Game Pass has been established already. People already have stuff that they're like expecting from it. You now taking that away. What I can see though is that they put the stuff in another exclusive tier, which they kind of already did that. But like, I just don't see that they can pull themselves out of the situation without it blowing up in their face. And we do know that people are like watching this stuff closely because when the price did increase, people started dipping. Like
Right.
a fuck ton of people did. So
Yeah.
millions,
and
literally
I'm
millions.
sure they're hyper aware of that. So to pull away first party games, I don't
That's the
see
thing.
that.
I just
It's
don't
a
think they're
weird
gonna want to
situation.
prioritize. I don't think they want to prioritize Game Pass anymore. I think they realize it's like this is actively losing us money if we're making these games just to throw them on a service that's like half the price of what these games cost.
I
just-
think the
I
very
do
easy
agree.
way to say this is, hey, Game Pass was Phil's thing. Phil's not here anymore. We're moving
Phil's
on.
dead.
I think
I
it's
do think it'll be reworked, and they'll probably keep the first part, but it's just gonna be in like a crazy tier. Or
it would
some
have to
shit.
be like a $50 tier. I mean, I just don't know how that math, even at $30, they're, still having a hard time justifying it. I
Because
think if they're going to
price
truly,
increase. My whole thing, if the price increase makes them lose that many people, how much is taking away the first party?
but
mean,
I still think you can compromise it in a way where you make it even cheaper and you get like 50% off first party titles. So you're still buying the game. Game Pass is still subsidizing that purchase, but it's still getting like the game sales to the developers that they hadn't been getting previously.
Now, something I do want to bring up that does tie into this a little bit. This was an older Asha tweet, closer to when she first got announced and all that. She mentioned something, and she was like, "Hey, yeah, later in the year we're gonna talk about like the new way we're gonna be like doing money." It seemed like they already have something in the works. I don't know what the hell it is. I don't know if it's tied to Game Pass or not. But it going off of that tweet alone, it seems like they have something in mind that's completely different from what we have now. I just don't know what that could possibly be.
I think we're all in
So-
agreement, though. The current system has to change.
Oh, it's gonna change. No chance.
Well,
I think it's
it
gonna
doesn't.
change. I just
talking-
don't see them fully eradicating first part.
Sure.
That's a big
And
blow.
we can disagree on that.
I
I think
mean,
that's
That's completely fair. Yeah.
I mean,
This,
I
you
think
can see
in
both
5
sides of the argument.
I think in 5 years there's no Game Pass.
Oh, you think
they just
get rid of it?
I think at a certain point you have to look and like, hey, we need to like refocus, reset. Like I mean, I've long held the position that they've lost more money and kind of caused more problems with Game Pass than they've made. I mean, sure, it's good for the consumer, but at the same time, if it's going to kill the Xbox business, then I'd rather them not have Game Pass. So I think in 5 years, if we're talking 5 years, I'd be shocked if Game Pass is still a thing because I still think Xbox is set up to struggle for a couple more years. But if they get rid of Game Pass and that you have to pay those full $70 for like those big games, like a Fable and then the Fallout 3 remaster and all those things, I think like those are gonna help stabilize the business. On top of like they have a great back catalog. Why aren't you charging people for those things? Like
because they
think that-
actually have good backwards compatibility and don't put it behind a paywall like the other two.
That's
Like,
another
that
thing
is
about
kind of
this
bullshit
quick
that the
but at
other
the same
two.
time, like you gotta make money.
I mean, you talk about another thing too,
Why
though.
are we taking the side of the corporations here on
Here's the
that?
thing.
Another thing about Game Pass.
There are way more avenues they should be finding a way to make money than through backwards compatibility at this point.
Another thing about Game Pass, though, that people don't really talk about, it helped Xbox a lot with building relationships with third parties that they desperately needed at the time that they didn't have. Like,
Yeah.
a lot of companies came up like, "Hey, Game Pass helped us significantly,"
Yeah,
and now
I'd
they're
be
close with
stunned.
Xbox. So I don't think
I'd
Game
be
Pass is fully gonna like, even if they take away, like, let's say in a hypothetical, even if they take away first, third-party support is still going to be there.
I'd
Okay, I
be
don't
stunned
see
if in
them
5 years
fully
we're sitting
disappearing.
here and Game Pass is still an active service.
Yeah, I just don't even because, and we've had this conversation, bitch, but I think like even PS Plus, whatever was it, premium, extra, like they are still giving away, like, or like not giving away, but like games, third-party games are still coming to that subscription service, and some of them are even day one.
But
So
keep in
I
mind,
think,
they snagged P6. You know how big of a deal that is? I
but
know, like, I've
even
been talking about it the whole time, but that's a massive get for anyone to have it day one on your subscription.
I will say though, that screams is like, listen, we're not going to sell on Xbox. You guys can have
Yeah,
it. We'll take the
yeah.
marketing deal.
I
I just
definitely about your like PlayStation comparison. I just think those are two different services and are interacted with in a different way.
How
Like
different are they other than
PlayStation,
game day one?
I think you're paying for online.
Aren't you doing that with PS Plus?
No, with extra? No. Are you talking about the essential?
I mean, if
but
Game Pass,
the game catalog, you don't need to have online. You just need essential for that.
that's true, and maybe Game Pass exists in a way that's just a
like there's
standard back
tiers to Game
catalog, but I'd
Pass
still
still,
be
right?
Yeah.
yeah, but I'd still be shocked if Game Pass is a thing because I think they need money.
I don't
Yeah, but
think
there
Mitch
still needs to
realized
be
what
an
he's arguing.
online subscription service, Bench. That's what we're trying to say. Like they can't just get rid of it all because then they don't have an online subscription service that you pay for.
Guys,
We-
Xbox Games with Gold is back.
Oh, yeah.
At
Maybe
most-
you have like a smaller catalog of games from studios that like, but
Yeah, that's
day
currently what
one,
it
and
is
I
now.
don't,
Right,
I
and
don't
that's
even
what
think.
we're saying. Like they're gonna roll it back. There's no way they get rid of like
I mean,
that is their multiplayer
It's
subscription
just every
service.
PS Plus extra.
but I mean, I don't even think like you're gonna have like, say, I don't even think you're gonna have new games like ever join the service. So I guess what I'm trying.
That's
to
what
say.
we're saying.
But-
oh, like wait, like brand new game, like ever? They'll just
Like,
stop
I don't think
updating
you're
it one
gonna
day?
see. Yeah,
Oh, I don't know about
I
that.
that's what I'm-
No.
Yeah, I like
even
even
PS
PS
does
isn't
so-
doing that though.
Yeah,
Like that's what I'm saying. Like it like I don't understand that part of the argument because PlayStation's
see
doing
that-
that right now.
Well, I think it's just gonna be the case where it's like it's just not gonna be day one games, but like it's gonna always exist.
Right.
They'll just add. They want people on subscription services. Like,
We're
that's
all
how they
in
make a lot of money.
agreement that Game Pass is going to change, and outside of Dark, they're going to roll it back. And even Dark is saying
I'm
somehow it's
I
going to
feel-
change.
It's gonna change somehow. I just don't think they're gonna fully remove it with no option of you having what's close to what it is now. If that makes sense.
Oh,
Right.
I don't think it'll be close. Like I could see third parties just not being involved in it anymore.
And
don't know.
yeah,
Like, they
I think
never
that's too
add a game
far
to
of a.
I feel like you have a better chance of you just taking out your own first party than dropping third party. Third parties, I was mentioning that before. Like third parties got a lot from Game Pass and vice versa.
They
Yeah,
get
but-
let in
Although
Game
it's like-
Pass because they're getting a bag.
I love the idea that's like, oh yeah, we think they're gonna roll back Game Pass, and then Bench is like, I think Asha's gonna kill Todd Howard live on stage. Like he always gotta one up us. It's crazy.
Well, I mean, Todd letting Obsidian work on Fallout. Like there has to be some sort of.
Is he letting or was he forced?
it was forced.
He was forced.
I mean, that's a whole other thing, though. I to close the Game Pass conversation, I do think we all agree it's going to get changed in some major way.
Yes.
Personally,
I mean,
and I
It's
think Papa
either-
Juice day one is out. I
when
think
do
Dark
we?
is like Dark. What major way does it change? What do you think?
That's the thing. I don't really know, and like that's why I mentioned the Asha tweet because it seems like I don't. They mentioned I can go back and find the tweet. They mentioned that they have something new, so that can either just like replace it, or it could be
Super Game
alongside
Pass.
it. Game Pass too.
I think
There's
if that tweet really was early on in her, like within the first month, like I think she's bullshitting and they don't have a plan yet, and they were trying to analyze
things that
what the hell's
change.
going on first.
That's why I
But-
mentioned. Like, that's why I said solely based off of that. Things could have changed, obviously, but I think it is
That's
gonna get reworked. The thing, I just don't know how, and I don't see them pulling it fully. I feel like maybe
feel
they'll
like
do
that's the
something with the
problem.
tiers. It's
We
hard
can't
to tell.
predict any of this because they're constantly changing shit. They constantly
Yeah.
change their
Bob,
strategy.
I have a question for Bop, sir.
Yes.
I have a question.
Yes.
By the time Helix launches, because day one Game Pass game's a thing.
I mean, I feel like if you're going to change Game Pass, you're gonna have to do it before. Like, changing Game Pass would be part of the reset, not a celebration of a new console.
Because
if that makes sense. So I feel like
yeah,
if they are
I-
going to change it, I think they're going to change day
Is-
one. And so yeah, I think by the time Helix launches,
because my
The games that are already announced for Game Pass are going to still launch on Game
Yeah,
Pass.
'cause my
But they
viewpoint
never
is
said
I
Elder Scrolls
assume-
6 is Game Pass.
because my viewpoint, specifically with day one, is that they probably have contracts like with Atlas and other companies through 27.
Right.
And I think if Helix is kind of like maybe spring 28 ish, then I think by then you kind of like maybe halfway through next year, like, hey, this is like right before the showcase, you're like, hey, this is what's happening.
Wait,
and then
wait.
you slowly.
Do you think Helix is 28?
I think it could be spring 28.
No chance.
I
No, they want to launch next to Sony.
I
thought
don't
we've
think
been
so.
saying for the last couple of years they
No, I
don't.
disagree. I
No,
don't.
they
I don't
either-
think Sony's 27 either.
Either
Well-
they launch with Sony or before Sony. They don't want to launch after Sony. That's
No,
my-
my thing is I think they are spring 28 and Sony's fall.
no. I
Yeah,
think
but just
I think
saying,
it's pretty
yeah,
clear that
yeah.
the PS6 is 27.
Yeah,
I mean,
think it's
realistically,
more and more
much
I
evidence.
disagree.
I mean,
There's just
thinking
been
about
so
it
much
too,
evidence now.
with how the market is and everything, like, what if they're just going into this fully expecting it to be a? Because like Bob mentioned this earlier too, we're not gonna get a big jump in improvement from what we have now to like Helix and whatever the next PlayStation is, and like the price point is gonna it's gonna be absurd.
It's also better to launch earlier because of that price point. Because it's like, hey, RAM is technically right now the cheapest it'll ever be. It will
It's gonna
not
be
go down
absurd.
in
And,
price.
like, how many
until
people
the
realistically are gonna
2030s.
upgrade to these consoles instead of just staying with what they have now? Because for the common
Yeah, and I think
people, like
I mean,
we can't
right
afford
there,
this
though,
shit.
Dark, I feel like that's like kind of the whole point of everything right now is what I would say. It's just like
Yeah,
I don't think
with
there's
both.
any reason to upgrade to these consoles. And
Yeah,
they've
that's what I'm
clearly
saying,
not
like-
given any.
Like I brought up the idea before. I know no one agrees with me, and to their point, it does make sense. Like, if I was them, I would just hold off. I'm like, yeah, we're just gonna wait.
They can't though
I want-
because
I
they're
want them
gonna
to,
be
but they won't.
wasting money.
Yeah,
they're
If the consoles are in their warehouse and not on store shelves, they are wasting money.
yeah, that's
the
the thing.
contracts and
Like,
there's.
it's such
right,
a
all
weird
these
situation
things.
to be in.
I
yeah.
would want
'Cause
them
I
to
th-
wait.
I think even they want to wait if they could.
Yeah,
but
of
they
course.
are kind of screwed here.
Like, I
No
wouldn't
one-
be surprised if we're talking like a $1,300 console,
I wouldn't be shocked. I would not be shocked.
and that's insane to say.
I
Which at
think
that point, just go get a PC.
What's clear at this point, I think one thing we can all agree on is Sam Altman. We're coming after you.
Yes.
Fuck that guy. I hate that motherfucker. It's frustrating. It's like, God damn it, dude. This AI thing, like now you're messing with my video games. Now we got a problem. Okay.
yeah.
I'll ask that honestly right now. Do we see more ramifications of AI in gaming?
Yes,
Oh,
And I know
yeah.
that's like such a broad topic.
Yeah.
I don't want to get too into, but
Yeah.
Yeah,
like,
we do, without a doubt.
There are absolutely going to be studios that we know and love that are going to try and really push the boundaries with AI in a way that we're not.
we already
gonna
saw
want.
that. Yeah. We
Yeah.
see that
I
with
mean,
like
look what Netflix just came out.
I didn't see that. What happened?
They came
Well,
out with a
they-
tweet saying that
300
yeah, you got it.
300 properties in the past, I think, like year or so have used AI in some form or shape or form.
Yeah.
There's 300 of their some things on Netflix.
What are we doing, man? What the fuck?
It's just it's
What
clear
are we
these
doing?
companies don't know what the
Okay.
fuck they're doing.
And then
I
you have
have a
George
fun
Lucas
question.
earlier
Here's
this
the-
week.
You know what's the funniest thing about AI in general? Truly, you know what the funniest thing is? I was thinking about this. It is losing money. It has not made them any
Yeah.
money. Like investors keep throwing it in this money pit, like, oh, it'll eventually make money. It still hasn't. And we're like 5 years into this. It's like all it's done is cost money and not make anything in return.
Well,
I'll
and that's the
always
funny
remember.
thing,
I'll
Wolf.
always remember when Sam Altman, his bitch ass, was like, "We will never add ads onto ChatGPT because we will make the money in other avenues." I used ChatGPT the other day. I was like, "Oh, there's an ad." There it is. It's like,
Begging
okay,
the government that help keep like giving him money and trying to make it like a mandatory thing or something like that. This was
yeah,
not that long
they're
ago.
doing everything
Well,
they can.
it's what? It's OpenAI giving money to Microsoft, who's giving money to Nvidia, who's giving money to OpenAI. Like it's a closed loop of arbitrage, and it's but the one thing though, Wolf, that's interesting is I'm sure you've heard the term tokens come up more and more
Oh yeah, my
because
favorite.
that is like that's kind of like the V-Bucks of AI is is tokens to be able to run some of these complex models.
Yeah.
The companies that are firing people and replacing it with AI are finding out that the tokens they would need to spend over a year costs
It costs more
more
money.
than the salary that they paid those people. So now you're getting to the point where it's like, okay, sure, they're making the money back, but now people are realizing this is a terrible investment and they're just going to pull out. And so they still
Wait,
lose money.
wait, are you telling me these companies didn't think ahead of time? What?
No, they only thought about the quarter ahead of them, just like Microsoft loves to do.
It sounds
Yeah.
like someone just went into like these business meetings using AI to figure out solutions instead of having
Yeah,
people
yeah.
actually think it through.
Satya is like a huge AI. Like he got an AI assistant with him at all times. Like he be acting like he got Jarvis. It's like, no, bro, that's not
For
how
real.
that works. It's just, I don't know. It's very clear right now. I here's the thing. I always believed that the idea of like AI will eventually be, I guess for lack of a better word, defunded in a major way because it's not making money. We're like 4 years into this AI thing and it still hasn't been defunded. And I'm just like, what do these guys
It's
need to see to understand that you are not making any money off this? You are actively, as even Bob says, it's like, yeah, replace your whole studio with AI. You are spending more money now. It's
AI is unfortunately
yuck.
always going to have a place, but it's going to take a crash for it to reset and
And
find
the
that
thing
place.
is, there's
That's a
good
difference.
and bad
There's
AI.
good,
It's
yeah.
all of the generative AI. Like, why
I
are
think
we
it's
pushing
clear
this?
we all. I mean, here's the thing though. Even software programmers will say, yeah, the AI that we use sucks too. Like it's not useful. But maybe that can be refined as like, no, now it is good and it isn't replacetive. I think AI as a tool is awesome and it's very useful. The problem is these guys want it to replace people and get rid of
Yeah.
that human autonomy. And it's like, no, dude, that's not. We're going against art in general. And it's like Gen AI, especially. I'm like, who enjoys this? Like genuinely, I that's what I always think about when I watch like anything with Gen AI. Who's watching this? Like, yeah, this is great entertainment. We
Okay,
will see,
to
man.
end the Microsoft conversation, I have one
Yeah.
fun question.
What's up?
I know there have technically been leaks of this, but it's been a while and they could have added more and they've had surveys to maybe potentially change some things. Do we think the Xbox controller gets a major refresh with the launch of Helix?
What do you mean by refresh?
Like potentially adding better
Like from
haptics,
from 360 to Xbox One, you mean? Like how they changed it like that?
well, just adding like more, like adding motion controls, like having a gyroscope, like adding some sort of adaptive trigger, like comparable. Like
I can see
an
them.
adaptive trigger.
I can see them testing stuff out, but I don't think it's gonna be like the
I've seen them
commonplace standard.
I think yes, and I think also the UI is going to change. What
well,
I
it's
think
gonna
they're gonna
have
try.
it is gonna have to change
I
because
hope.
of how they're gonna do it.
Well, I mean, I
Wait.
specifically, I think it's going to be like because I think, and honestly, like an issue going from like Series X from Xbox One to Series X is that they made it feel like it was just kind of like Sony, to their credit, like new controller, new UI. That's how you make a console feel new. And the Xbox, they very similar controller, very similar UI. Kind of just didn't have that new feel. I guess is what I'm
Yeah.
trying to say. And
Which is
for
fair.
both companies this time, I think they're gonna have to really try and think out of the box ways to make like a refreshed UI, new controllers, new
Yeah.
features to try and get people into the new ecosystem.
Bob, here's a better question. You know, you ask if they're going to have a major controller refresh. I'll ask this for both PlayStation and Xbox. Will they ship with a controller? Will you be able to buy a PS6 with a controller, or are they
I
just
would
going to say
hope so.
it's the
I
hey,
mean,
use the
we
the
didn't see it
PS5
with the
controller?
Steam machine.
I'm just saying it's very possible they want to save as much cost as possible. That controller costs like $100 probably, and it's like, hey, if you want a PS6 controller, buy it separately. If not, you can use your PS5 controller.
Yeah, I think you're right. I can totally see that as just as a desperate attempt to be like, please, it's not $1,000. We're not going to ship it with the controller, but you're going to have to buy it anyway, so it still is $1,000. I could
Yeah.
absolutely see that.
Yeah.
To the UI point, I do think while you are right, Bench, I always found that argument funnier because most people hate the PS5 UI compared to the PS4 UI, and like
That's
how all
mostly
the
the
button
games.
and like the muscle memory is different. So it's like because we didn't see it with the Switch 2 either, and I feel like no one really like
I mean, I
cared or
personally
mentioned
would
that.
have liked
I wish the
it
Switch 2
more.
was a little different.
I will
Sure,
say, like
yeah,
the
do
The new
curved
sound
edges
effects
on
were nice.
icons. Yeah,
I like
Uh,
the sound effects.
But to actually answer the question, I think the UI change is going to be what you're seeing. One on your ROG Ally, and two, what the PC app is starting to look like, where that will be the UI. I think is what they're gearing towards.
Yeah, man. It's tough.
Very positive
Xbox-
conversation so far, Wolf.
Yeah, really. Yeah, no, honestly, I'm glad I could bring you guys together. You know, after all the negative news of the last weeks, and be like, hey, let's get more negative.
Let's double down on it.
Well,
Uh,
I think we
here's
can
a
be
little bit of a
positive.
reprieve. What about Nintendo? Now, listen, I have my issues with Nintendo. I get very frustrated by a lot of their decisions, especially in the legal world. But hey, if you want like a true just we make games, that's Nintendo, man. They make the games, they sell the games, and we play the games. They don't lay off the workers. They don't like fucking go with billions of dollars into Gen AI. They raised the console price, but like by $50, which I'm honestly still surprised. I probably assume that the Switch 2 is going to get another price increase sometime in the next year. But like, I would say like of the three, I'm feeling the best out of Nintendo. Even despite my issues with them, it's like,
I think that they're the best
damn,
off,
those,
but they do
those
have
games are good.
they do still have odd things going on with them. And then for the next 5 years, I'm really curious on how Nintendo's going to do. Because we had a whole conversation about this before, but pretty much to sum that whole thing up, pretty much right now, where a lot of people are standing with the Switch 2, is that if you had the Switch 1, there's not much the Switch 2 offers you right now. With how
think-
early it is.
Yeah, I definitely
So in the
agree.
next 5 years, I'm curious to see where it'll be.
Yeah, that's the thing, Doug. I feel like I could say that about any new console, though. Especially, I think I'm more so frustrated because I'm just like the the choice of franchises there decided to really push for the Switch 2. I'm almost like, did you guys remember you launched a new console? It's just the way they've been marketing it has been the more frustrating thing to me. But I mean, when I hear about the stuff that they have planned, I get excited. I am excited for Ocarina of Time remake. Apparently, 3D Mario is next year. Pokemon, like that stuff excites me.
Xenoblade.
What's up?
Xenoblade, that looked
I
great.
didn't. Do you think I would mention Xenoblade? Come on, man. But like in general, I think like they have a strong setup. Clearly, I feel like you could market it a bit better, especially if you want to sell this console. That's just my
I do think also third-party support on Switch 2 has been huge.
very big. I mean, honestly, I was thinking about this. How long do you guys think the third party support will go? Because I keep hearing things like, oh, they'll eventually give out, but like games are more scalable than ever, and I feel like a lot of developers are like, no, we do still want to prioritize Switch 2. Like that is a strong. We're selling a lot of games on there.
I mean,
I
haven't there
think
been devs that said that optimizing for the Series S has actually really helped us develop for the Switch 2?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, they said it's like Series S level of power, so like I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of devs are like, yeah, no, I mean, if we're making a Series S version, we can definitely make a Switch 2 version.
Yep, I think DLSS helps a lot on top of
Oh, yeah.
like just PC gaming and like PC gaming handhelds. Kind of
Scalability is more than ever.
Yeah, so I think, I mean, if like Revelation is going to run on this thing, FF7 and like Onimusha, like there's not going to be much. Especially like I know Crimson Desert devs are like flirting with putting it on there. You have Stellar Blade, like everything. I don't think it's going to stop because I also don't think like games are going to exactly like get more technically crazy than something like a Crimson
Agreed.
Desert if that can come over. So I think you're going to look at some pretty good stuff.
Well, and also just the fact of like these developers are looking at how big of a player base the Switch has and be like, yeah, we need that money too. Like, don't forget about the
100%.
money over there.
Mm-hmm.
And especially if they aren't like rushing the ports and making them like really shoddy or fucking them up. I think when you see that with Capcom with the Requiem and Pragmata ports, those games sold well on Switch too, and they were like, yeah, no, it was a worthwhile endeavor to put those on Switch too. And now they're gonna probably be able to continue porting stuff to Switch too because they have RE Engine clearly able to run on this thing. And those games are not like tiny little whatevers. Like Requiem is a very visually impressive game, and from what I heard, it's like the Switch 2 version is like, yeah, man, it's like obviously a downgrade from the PS5 version, but it's a very strong version of that game.
I also think I think Rebirth would sell pretty well on Switch, like more than they expected.
Yeah, I mean, clearly, I think Japanese games are definitely the ones that are doing the best, and I think those developers are going to prioritize the platform more than the Western devs. But yeah, no, I think I do not give into the idea of like Switch 2, like eventually the ports are going to dry up because the games are going to get too powerful. It's like I don't think they're going to get that much powerful in the next 5 years, especially because I feel like Nintendo future-proofed this thing substantially more than they did with the Switch 1. Now, am I going to sit here and say that I'm going to play these games on Switch 2? Hell no. but like, it's not for me. It's for the primarily Switch 2 player base or the people who want to play it handheld. People like Jat, who I know Jat, like, he will wait for a game to come to Switch 2 before playing it because he's like, yeah, I want to play it handheld. Like, those people exist and those people are an important part of Nintendo's fan base. And I think they want to try to keep those. And look at the last Direct, man. Half the games there were ports. Let's just be real. They clearly want to have a very strong fan base that also plays not just the Nintendo games, but their third-party games too. Let me. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Bob.
No, I was kind of going off the earlier conversation. Like, I do think that Nintendo is still making consistently, like the most fun and like even Yoshi. The Yoshi
that was
book
higher than I
game.
expected.
God, like what? Like they really are. Like, sure, Mario Kart was disappointing, but like they're at least consistent in their releases. Like they haven't had a flop. They haven't had a dud.
Dragon Drive.
Okay, but that's priced in. Like that one's priced in.
They priced it. They factored it. It's
yeah. I mean, because we could say the same thing about Switch 2 Welcome Tour. I mean, come on.
Yeah, no, I get it. Those are like definitely like not their core releases. I get what you mean.
Right, like Star Fox did well. Rhythm Heaven did well. Like they aren't really missing. Like they're very consistent. And their games are still fun to play, and they appeal to a lot of people. It's just like you said, it's just frustrating that they could be capitalizing on this more, and yet they are choosing to kind of play it close to their chest, or not be.
They're way more safe than they were with the Switch 1, because I think with Switch 1 they were like, we need this to succeed. Whereas Switch 2, it's like, we'll get people in eventually, and we're still making money off of both platforms. So like, we'll wait. Like we'll be a bit more conservative, which is unfortunate for like a gaming news podcast, and it's like unfortunate
just to be
for like
excited about things.
Yeah, exactly. It's just I think they're also like, hey, you'll find out when you find out. And listen, man, when I see that 3D Mario trailer and they're like, hey, February, I'm like, yo, listen, man, that will hit.
And Bench and I have been keeping up on the Pokemon leaks, and they continue to look very good. So
yeah, I haven't looked at any of those.
2027 is going to be good.
I think 2027 will be the year for the Switch 2, especially. And I mean, listen, dude, I think this year has been actually very good for the Switch 2.
It has.
And it's supposedly going to end with an Ocarina of Time remake, and I am very interested to see how that game looks. I'm quite excited for it. And that's kind of my thing. Is like here's the way I'd put an example. Bench, you and I played Metroid Prime before, and that was a game
Yes.
of all time. But
Yes.
if that game was developed, because it's developed in the West, Retro Studios is I think they're Austin, or Dallas. No, they're Austin. They're a Texas studio. Retro Studios is based in the US. If that was developed under PlayStation or Microsoft or Take-Two or anyone else, it's like, wow, that you spent that long on that game and you cost this much money, you're gone. But when I beat that
Yeah.
game, I wasn't like, Retro Studios, rest in peace. I'm like, okay, we'll see what the next game is.
I was more
Nintendo
so
doesn't
like
lay off or close studios. Like I just
this
straight up,
cliffhanger. This
Yeah,
cliffhanger, like, why are you making a cliffhanger for a game that'll never?
Yeah, that was
see?
true. That was true. I mean, apparently there are rumors that they are working on Prime 5, so we'll see. But I'm looking at it. I'm like, yo, get back to Donkey Kong. That's what I'm saying. Give me that Donkey Kong tropical.
Give me
freeze
the
sequel.
Kong.
The Kong. But yeah, I guess just in general, I guess I always sound negative about the Switch 2, but then I play it. I'm like, I play games on it. I'm like, fuck, this thing is great. Like this thing, technology is great. I think the hardware is just really strong. I love the menus, the UI. Even if it is a lot of it is just the Switch 1 UI, but I just love how snappy it is. And like, dude, the games like Star Fox, I am in love with. I love that game to pieces. But Donkey Kong Bonanza was one of the best games from last year. I think there has been a great steady cadence of releases. I think I'm like, oh man, I wish you guys would just talk a little more. But hey, what do they gain out of talking, really?
Yeah,
Outside
it's
of, like,
I think
helping
it's
us
just
out.
more annoyance than it
Yeah, it's
is like
annoyance.
actual negativity.
100%. Yeah, I
Because
feel a lot better about Nintendo than the other two. I'll say that.
Yeah, like I'm not actually like dooming and glooming Nintendo like I am the other two.
The worst thing Nintendo does to me is just their legal bullshit. Like, really, that's the thing where I'm like, I could do.
Oh,
without
there's
it.
something worse.
Oh, the prices.
What are they doing with GameCube NSO?
Yeah, really. Wait, actually,
Like
good
what are
talk.
they doing with GameCube NSO? There are so many GameCube games, and we're
I
getting
think-
like
listen,
once a quarter.
What
I
if
think-
what if they come out and say, listen, GameCube MSO has been slow because we've been working on DS NSO.
They're gonna come
No,
out with Wii.
they're not
come
gonna
out with Wii
say that.
NSO. They're gonna come out with
I
Wii
need
NSO and
DS.
forget about GameCube.
I need DS
I
and
th-
3DS games to be a thing on the Switch 2, and I will give my life to Nintendo.
I do wonder if that like second screen rumor is
It would
real.
work. I don't even think they need that. It would probably just they could do it like the Wii U did DS games. Just have it be like you can have it all fit in one screen. It's awkward, but you can make it
Well,
work.
I mean, the actual solution is to normalize Tate mode and just turn your Switch to 90 degrees, get a little controller accessory that still plugs in 90
Totally.
degrees, and then you have two actually full-size screens.
I mean, listen, I wish. I wish I could use this like my Switch 1 is like the bottom screen and then the Switch 2 is the top screen. Like, let's just do that, you know? I still have
Yeah.
it.
I mean,
Oh.
it's so weird that they will make a $100 Virtual Boy accessory, but like the idea of them doing accessories to make DS and 3DS work, it's like, I don't know, man, that just seems crazy. It's like, why?
Yeah.
They are so inconsistent, it's nuts.
I will say this, Bob. I think NSO is going to get a price increase soon. Like, very soon.
Yeah,
I'm shocked that it hasn't.
We are due for one.
I assume it'll be like, because right now it's $20 for the, what's it called?
Yes.
The lower tier, and then 50 for premium. I think it'll probably just be like $10 each increase,
I
which
agree.
sucks. But I will say that the value is there if you do play those retro games. If you don't, then it just sucks all around. I totally get it. But if you are like consistently playing those retro games, 60 a year isn't that bad. But of course, I'm gonna not say that when it's like 5 years later. Now it's 70. Now it's 80. It's like it's that constant price increase situation.
I mean,
I
they
think
are
they're able to
easily
get
the
away with-
most.
I'm
They
sorry, go
are
ahead.
the most egregious with their like, hey, we're granted it's cheaper, but it's like they're like, not only are we going to lock backwards compatibility behind this, we're also going to be really slow about it too, so that we're going
Yeah,
to
and
drip feed you this content.
And you don't get to own these games digitally, even like you just you just have to deal with like
Right,
not
you
owning
can't
them.
buy
You
them
stream them.
separately unless it's Pokemon. Like,
Yeah, yeah, that's always frustrated me too, Bob, for sure. That's one thing where I'm like, I
but
would,
they're annoyances, right? Like,
yeah,
it's not.
I'm not dealing with like human lives being impacted in major ways whenever I think about Nintendo stuff.
Yeah,
Which I mean, listen, again, there's a lot of things they could do better, but I just look at them compared to PlayStation and Xbox, and I'm just like, yeah, you guys clearly understood the assignment 20 years ago when you said we're not going to try to fight the hardware race because PC is just going to win that no matter what. So, you know what? Shout out to them. Yeah, I guess yeah. There's not really much else to talk about. I feel like in 5 years, I'm just looking at Nintendo. It's like, yeah, they're probably just going to do the same thing. They're going to release their first party games. They're going to be awesome. There'll be some slight increases. There'll be price increases for sure. No one's debating against that. The power differential, the third party. I feel like there's not a lot that's going to be changing in the 5 years. Did you guys say agree with that?
I think so.
Yeah.
I'll talk third parties real quick. I don't know if we're going to say too much about third parties and indies, but I more so kind of put that as like Valve. Do you guys think like the PC platform changes at all in the next 5 years?
Nah. Just more
No.
expensive. That's about it.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, by the 2030s, they said RAM's going to get cheaper. Does
They
that
said-
affect the prices at all, or is it like
Change
no,
it
they're
can
going to
get cheaper, but
yeah, that's tough.
When I think third party, I just think like, okay, it seems like the EA Saudi deal is going through, and
yeah,
as we've seen with college football, even though they reverse some of the microtransactions, they're clearly not going away from that, and 28 will just be the same thing. You know, and while the other sports games are still doing okay, like they're just going to continue to try and milk money out of it and do yearly releases. I have no faith in the other actual studios like BioWare, like actually making things. I don't really have a lot of faith in Ubisoft.
Yeah.
Square.
We're getting Mass Effect. Come on.
By someone else maybe, but I
there's
just
no
don't.
chance. I'm going to be real. That Mass Effect game is canceled without question.
Yeah, I don't see
It-
them.
I don't.
No.
The
EA
the
does
value
not
prop
make
of it
cool
makes no
games.
sense.
They just
They,
don't.
they
make cool
couldn't they couldn't even do Skate single player. They had to make it a fucking live
They
service
couldn't
game.
do Dead Space 2. Like, what are we doing here?
Yeah, so I don't have faith in EA. I don't have faith in Ubisoft. I think the Japanese third parties like Square and Capcom are going to be fine.
Yeah, they're fine.
They're figuring it out.
Square keeps fucking things up, like just in terms of like their projections and estimates. But even then, I just don't think that affects the business nearly as much as I think they like to act like it is. I think
and
they'll
they're
be completely good.
they're starting to figure it out, being like, oh,
Yeah,
Final Fantasy VII Revelations is going to be a huge hit. We are understanding how to do HD 2D with the older Final Fantasy franchises and like making those appealing to newer audiences.
honestly, Bob, what their big thing they got to figure out is like their games keep getting into development hell. Like anything that's
Yeah.
not Final Fantasy, where it's like Dragon Quest got canceled and rebooted, and then we
that's
had
insane, by the way. It's been so
yeah.
long.
It's so funny. What was it? Their other franchise, Kingdom Hearts 4, Bob Dark's favorite. Yeah, I mean, we don't even know
So
if that's releasing next year.
The thing with Kingdom Hearts is that it's not really in development hell. We just know that Nomura and everyone else has been working on the Final Fantasy VII remake project.
Yeah, I mean, Dark. I'll even ask this. It's insane to me. We still don't know what the next Nier game is. It's like that's still not revealed
That's
yet.
something. Yeah, that's not revealed. I know Yoko Taro has been like teasing it, and not even that long ago, they straight up said, "Hey, your Nier's continuing." Why
I mean,
have
he's a
we
troll.
gotten? I mean, we had the mobile game, and I know that they say Yoko Taro's like, "Yeah, that's officially Nier 3." But like, you lost
alright.
75% of your fan base, bro. So
Yeah, I don't know. I think Square Enix is fine in terms of the quality of their games. I think it's just like about getting these things out because it feels like we talk about Japanese developers being very fast, and Square Enix is always the exception. And then Bob, you had the other third parties. I mean, like what, like Take-Two. I think they're fine.
No,
they're
yeah,
more than
they're
fine with
more
GTA
than
6.
fine. I mean, the only problem there is like they I just don't see them making anything other than they're kind of in the Activision
got-
hole of
They
like,
got Judas. If that comes
sure, yeah, yeah. You think that's real? That's fine.
up. They got Bioshock. I don't know.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, they're tough.
Really
That's a tough
selling
one.
me.
2K. NBA 2K.
Yeah. I think Bandai is kind of in a weird spot, but
Yeah, I feel like a
I'm
lot of that
sure
comes
there's
from just anime publishing and Bandai themselves, right? Less than the Namco part.
yeah, but I don't see them like I think they're going to be fine. And then CD
They'll be
Projekt Red, like we said, Witcher, I think I'm still excited for.
Yeah, they got GOG, Cyberpunk 2. Like they are more than fine. They are like one of the biggest winners right now in the industry.
Yeah. So I think the bad AAA companies are going to continue to fizzle out, and the ones that have figured it out are going to continue to figure it out.
Yeah, man. It's like I said, is like it's tough to be excited about anything in the industry. But honestly, one thing I'm very excited about is indies because indies seem to continue just trucking on and doing amazing, man. It feels like they're now. I do want to bring up a point though, and the Jason Schreier brought this up. Indies, we talk about the ones that are successful and that are making noise. 90% of indies no one plays. Let's
Yeah.
just be completely honest here.
Yeah.
And we talk about them being the future in the industry, and I hope they are. But a lot of them will come out and nobody notices, and that could be like the best game ever made, but no one played it. I always think
Right.
about there was a game, Bob, that I bought on a Steam sale, and I was like, I remember this because it was like $2. I'm like, I remember this, and I remember watching the trailer. I'm like, I watched this like 3 years ago, excited to play this game, and then it just came out like 2 years ago, and I never heard anything about it, and now I bought it for $2. It's like that's tough, man. It's just I don't know how you, as an indie developer, break out when the industry is more crowded than ever.
I think the one interesting trend with indies recently has been the quote unquote friend slop genre, because that really has been like Mecha Chameleon this year has been an absolutely insane hit. Peak was such a good hit last year. There's that new plane game that's coming out that is
Awesome.
already really hyped up. Like that trailer on Twitter has an insane amount of views for a small indie team. You had like Super Battle Golf earlier this year was another good like friend slap game. Like it is interesting that like I think kind of like the AAAs to an extent, like I think the way you survive is you make a game you're probably not super passionate about, but you can make that can appeal to the general audience, and then you hopefully can get enough sales from that to then fund the actual thing you want to make. But at the end of the day, it's still a gamble. Like you said, there's more games. I mean, that was the funniest thing from the Jeff Keighley Summer Games Fest thing, was just how many games are being released a year is so astronomically insane. Like we can't even keep up with the AAA releases anymore, let alone the indie releases.
July is like the quietest month it's been for a while, and even I'm looking like, damn, Densha Tech looks sick. Like it's like I thought I wouldn't buy anything this month, and now I'm like, fuck, there are multiple games this month.
And that was it the extremely hard co-op game we saw at Summer Games Fest that comes out this month. So there's always something to play, and it's just indie devs have to be there has to be a awareness from an indie developer to be like, okay, we're gonna have to suck it up and price this game for $7, but that's how people are gonna play it. Like you look at Kiln, if Kiln was $5, I think people would have given it a shot. But it being $20-$30, it was never gonna have a chance. And like you have to appeal to what's trendy and be able to, unless it's a passion project, stuff like Balatro still comes out where like it's never been done before, or like a Vampire Survivors, and like there's still innovation that way. There's still avenues. Like there will always be people coming up with new great things that will take off. But
all the ideas are taken, man. It's just tough.
Well, and it's just like, yeah, like you said, saturation. Like there are going to be indie studios that don't make it, and that's going to suck. But there are enough of them that are making it that that cycle will continue.
To close it out, I do want to ask one thing. I actually completely forgot to, but I'm curious what you guys think. Leadership. So currently, PlayStation has Herman Hulst and Hideaki Nishino. Xbox has Asha Sharma, Matt Booty somehow. Nintendo has Furukawa. Do you think, and also Steam, Valve has Gabe Newell. Do you think any of these guys leave in the next 5 years?
I could see Gabe retire.
Oh, Gabe's absolutely retiring.
How old is he right now? Because he screams
60s?
to me as
also
someone
just-
who's gonna keep working till he goes.
He just bought like a mega mansion somewhere.
right.
He bought
That was
he's building like a deep sea yacht research thing.
He's 63.
I'm of the
I-
belief.
It's.
I mean, he's also
I
a
feel
bigger
like he-
guy.
Let's be honest though, with Gabe Newell, like him buying all that stuff, I don't think he does much in the day to day with Valve.
No,
I think he
I
shows up and it's just like everything cool, and it's like yeah, we're good. It's like okay, cool.
I think
that.
he's
Just-
more of a figurehead than anything now.
exactly, and I think he just makes sure it's like you guys aren't going public or fucking around with this anymore. Because I think when Gabe goes, then I start to get worried about Valve, and it's like I want to make sure he appoints like the best leadership possible.
I'm of the belief still that Microsoft is saving Matt Booty as like a scapegoat for if they do something horrendous or something crazy happens.
He's just a
gonna take
punching
the fall
bag.
for it. They're saving him for like, the worst case scenario. They're gonna pin everything on him.
There was something last month where like Matt talked about like exclude like oh we're not gonna talk about these type of games, and then Ash or no it was logos for other consoles, and Matt was like we think we should have logos for other consoles yada yada yada, and then people got mad and Asha was like you guys are right, I had nothing to do with this, we should have dealt with that. It's like dude, you're throwing him under the bus. It's like I think you're kind of right, Dirk, where it's like, yeah, they gotta just throw him under the bus. But even then, though, it's like, why would they keep promoting him? That's what I'm so confused about.
Because I think it just continues to expose the problem with most of corporate America, where it's like actual people who are good at their job get promoted less than the people who just kiss ass. And I think that Booty is
100%.
such a good ass kisser.
He is
I'm
the
telling you,
deep-
something's gonna happen, and it's gonna be like the worst news to ever come out of like the company's history, and they'll be like, it's his fault. He might not even have anything to do with it. They're gonna be like, it's his fault.
yeah. It's just like, no, sorry.
I mean, as far as Xbox does go, I don't think Asha is necessarily the Grim Reaper, quote unquote, that
I think she's just doing a good job so far.
like that people are saying
has
she
she?
is. I don't think though that she is going to be around very long. I could see her having a
Agreed.
5-year, 10 year where it's like, okay, we have a plan, the ship was turned around, or at least, we have a plan to turn it around and we're enacting it. I don't need to be here anymore. I'm moving on.
Yeah, she could easily be like the person that's just there to like help sell Xbox off or something and spin it out into its own company. Maybe it's just like a temporary position, and it's like, okay, I'm out. I agree with you there, Bob. It's like Asha's not. I don't think she's guaranteed to be staying with Xbox in the next 5 years. I'll also say I think for sure Herman Hulst is out. I think I was hearing this and I was like, oh, there's most likely a contract he still has. I bet by now Sony probably would have fired him, and
Yeah,
he's
I
just
feel
kind of
like they're
writing out his
sick of him.
contract. It's very clear Herman Hulst has not been doing a good job, and they even actively demoted him last year. That I feel like a lot of people forget about. Is like, no, he was demoted last year, guys. Like he was actively like they got rid of him, and it's
Yeah.
like he is almost in a figurehead position at this point. I don't think he really
Well,
makes.
he's
any
kind of
other
in the Matt Booty position, I feel like, where it's like
Yeah.
he
He's
is
the
just kind
scapegoat.
of the scapegoat. And, if things go wrong early in the PS6 era, it's like, okay, cool. Now we can cut your contract and blame you
Like,
for
we
all
got
of
you
this.
right where we want you, bro.
Yeah, I think they just want to have him write out his contract until it's finished, and then it's like they don't renew it, and it's like, all right, bye bye, we'll get a new person. which hopefully soon because Herman Holst fucking sucks. I hate him. I think Furukawa is gonna stay around. It's possible he leaves, but really, it's like he has no reason to. He was there for most of the Switch 1 into the Switch 2. He didn't usher in the Switch 1. That was God, what is his name? I always forget. It was the intermediary CEO between Iwata and Furukawa. But Kimishima. Kimishima, he handled Nintendo like
That's a
the Switch
crazy poll.
1 launch. Hey man, listen. I know this company,
Yeah,
sadly.
you really do. You know ball.
I know ball. But yeah, Kimishima was there for like the start of the Switch 1, and then Furukawa took over, I want to say around 2019. And he's been CEO for about, at this point, like 7 years. Japanese companies tend to stick to their CEOs for a long time. So it kind of just stays. It makes sense that Furukawa is probably going to be there for a while because he's still pretty young.
Yeah, he's 54.
Relatively
He's
so.
gonna be there.
Yeah. In 5 years for sure.
Yeah.
And I think he's been doing a pretty decent job. So I have no reason to like oust him or anything.
Right.
Same with all the producers like Koizumi and whatnot. But yeah, I think it's very clear right now. We're not all positive on the next 5 years in gaming, but I do think the games are still going to be good. That is
Yeah.
one thing that I want to parse out of this is like, I think the industry's in a rough spot, but I think we're going to be playing a lot of fun games. I just
I mean,
worry
next
about
year alone seems crazy.
I worry about the AAA side of things, of like the amount of IP that are probably just going to be abandoned now because it's like we got to focus on Fortnite, COD, yada yada yada, like the Sinister Six, and that's the worry I currently have for the industry.
Yeah, the Roblox and the Fortnites still scare me a lot because I think the one, sorry to bring it back down, but the one thing that scares me is like kids don't care about games. They care about
That's a good
Roblox and
point.
Fortnite, and everything in Roblox and Fortnite is all they need to interact with, and they don't have that same kind of passion, especially, you know, I know this is like such a cherry picked argument, but like I feel like the loss of physical games, like it gives less of a meaning to those like those kids aren't having those same experiences that
Yeah.
we did growing up, like going to
Agreed.
the game store or going to even like Blockbuster to rent games or going to GameStop or even selling your games, you know, to buy the new one or
Yeah.
going in the pre-order. Like they just don't have that same kind of attachment, and I think that's going to be a like problematic thing that like it's not like, yeah, sure, there are some franchises like Nintendo that will always gather that new, or sorry, not Nintendo, Pokemon, that will gather that new crop of kids, but it
Mhm.
does kind of seem like the industry and the games are aging with us, not, you know, progressing and keeping up with the newer generation.
We might be the last generation to know who Bomberman is. That's tough.
Maybe that's for the best.
Okay, let's calm down on Bomberman, buddy. All right? No disrespect. You think the kids are going to be talking about Trails in 20 years? All right, that's what I thought.
Oh,
They will be. It's Trails is bigger than ever. We're in a golden age.
Bigger than ever. We got 800K units, guys. Dark, what's like your thoughts on the industry to close it off?
Pretty much, you took most of the points out I would have brought.
My bad. My bad.
No, you don't have to apologize for that. No. The people behind the games themselves, they're still pumping out great content.
Mhm.
It really just comes down to if these higher ups can get their heads out of their fucking asses or not. Which unfortunately
asking for
does
a
not seem
lot.
like the case. Right now.
Yeah. Bench, anything more?
I'm definitely more optimistic. There's lots to definitely figure out in the immediate future in the next 2 to 3 years. But I mean, the fact that we're getting so many great games the rest of this year, next year, is a testament to the game creators that are out there, and that at the same time should be treated better.
100%. Well, boys, that's it for that topic. That was fun. Good to talk. No reviews this week. There was one. There was Dench Attack. I don't know if we had anything to say.
what did
about
it end up
That seems like-
scoring?
That was a. If it won't show up on recently released. Oh no, they already forgot about Dench Attack. Hang on.
OpenCritic's so weird about that sometimes.
Okay,
though.
there it is. 88 on OpenCritic.
Damn.
Very
Okay.
high.
Yeah,
Here's the thing. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I don't know if I've ever said this take before. I think it looks really cool. It looks really awesome. I hate the Western anime art style so fucking much. I don't like Western anime. Like stuff like Avatar and that art style, I can't stand. Keep anime away from the Western cartoons. Western cartoons do their thing. All right. I like both. I like them separate. I don't want them mixed. That's all. I know that's a crazy take, but it's just
We're
like that's the thing that
segregating
keeps me away from
animation
Genshin Impact.
styles, huh? Is that what
Agreed.
you're saying?
1,000%. Yes, sir.
Jeez. Anyway, so going back
I'm
to Dixie Stampede.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just like for some reason, whenever I look at the Western, I'm just like immediately like, I'm out. It looks really cool though.
Yeah,
probably just skip all the
I played the
details.
Steam demo of this game, and I think the opening doesn't do a good job of encapsulating how people are talking about it because it is like weirdly like it's almost it really starts out as like an on rails like a Subway Surfers kind of game, and you're
Oh,
like.
interesting.
Yeah, it's really weird in that regard, but then they start to open up like the Tony Hawk style
Yeah, that's
gameplay, and it
stuff I
starts
saw.
right, and it starts building on itself, and then it gets crazy where you have like the cruise ships and like the ice and all these different other like modifiers to it. So I never got that far, but obviously people are really enjoying it. So I would say I'll maybe get to it. I really doubt it with just the schedule of releases, but yeah, it was I would say try the demo and see if you find it promising.
Well, boys, what's up about what we've been playing? Real quick, just I got my GTA 5 Platinum. Fucking amazing
Round of
game.
applause. Round of
Uh,
applause for Wolf.
Yeah, thank you guys.
He
Thank
did
you.
good.
No one else clapped.
Okay. Yeah, I guess.
I heard that. No, that's what I was saying. No one else clapped. Bench hates me, dude. Loki.
I mean, you've been playing GTA forever.
He's just
Yeah,
laughing out because he's not in the secret GTA corner.
Yeah, he's still mad about it. I will say, I got that platinum. I'm like, man, I love this game. I never want to play it again. I'm ready for 6. I'm sick of 5 already. I'm like, I love GTA 5, but I'm like, I never want to touch that game again now because it's just so
Same.
many hours spent grinding out those last few trophies. But man, it was overall worth it. I really love that game. And Bob, I got to see that secret UFO, which you only get with 100%.
sick.
And it was like I've seen screenshots of it, but like seeing it in a game is like a whole nother thing. It's so fun. And also I've been doing my other runs of Star Fox, and I just enjoyed that game with each subsequent playthrough. I'm about to do the challenges right now. Just a blast. Amazing game. Not much more to really add on to what I originally said. I'm just like really, really enamored by what they did there. I'm super hoping we get a sequel to it, like just a whole new Star Fox game that's not just another 64 remake. Sometime in the next couple of years, hopefully, because Velen is a very talented dev, clearly. That's about it for what I've been playing. Bob, what about you? What are you playing?
Honestly, not much. I've been having to do a lot of life activities this
Yuck.
last week. Like going to farmers markets and comedy shows. Gross.
Congrats.
But yeah, also school, which by the way, I took my final on Wednesday, so I'm done
good
with school
shit, man.
for a month. So I'm trying my hardest to actually play video games. That being said, I am still playing a ton of TerraTech Legion, which is that vehicle vampire survivors game. That game just has my heart and is almost without a doubt going to be in my top 5 at the end of the year. Absolutely top 10. That game just fucking rules, and it's fun, and they keep updating it to make it even better, which I appreciate because there was some kind of garbage RNG and some like kind of unfun design choices that they were like, hey, you're right, this sucks, we're gonna fix that. So that's been awesome.
That's awesome. I love how quick they are to respond to stuff like that.
Still been playing Forza Horizon 6.
Nice.
This is so I think in the next couple of weeks, maybe it's a month from now, I will finally have done enough daily/weeklies to get the last achievement in the game. I'm missing one for the 100%. This is the last thing I need to do, and then I will have the 100%, and I'll probably be taking more of a back seat. But it's Forza. It continues to be great.
Oh, yeah.
I have started
Maybe.
James Bond, 007 First Light.
Let's go.
So I was really, I mean, it's the same comment everyone has said. The opener is so cool. The training montage has been great. The first kind of like mission in the club was fun. It has the bond or the charm of a James Bond movie. I think Patrick Gibson does a really good job. I also just really like the cinematic storytelling that they do, where it's like all one take with like not really a loading screen, and it just really makes it easy to flow into the next scene. So that's been really good. And then the last game I've been playing was the World Cup hype finally got to me.
Oh no.
EAFC
FIFA.
is on
Oh,
Game
no.
Pass. I haven't touched a FIFA game in God knows, like literally, it's been at least 5-6 years. And it was on Game Pass, so I picked it up, played the World Cup mode. There's so many different things that I don't like, and I'm trying to change it to as many classic controls as possible. I will say though, I always really like the manager mode in FIFA, and this one's actually pretty good. I played way too much of it last night, so I might be derailing gaming for to.
Oh my god. It's
I
always
need
the ball and gun virus strikes another again.
I need to take and because I'm not really playing college football. Like I found a way to play it on PC, but like I don't really have the desire because they still need to like update and balance some things, and it's like, do I download the new version of it? Do I just use mods to patch it? I don't really know, so I'm just kind of letting that play out. But I need Orlando City SC to win an MLS Cup, and then I can go to Europe. I can win a World Cup with America. I can lead Manchester City to a Premier League title. Like that, I need to live out my fantasies. And then
Yeah, things that will never happen for 100.
Yeah. Outside of Manchester City, they're pretty damn good. But
yeah, they're good. Yeah, definitely not America winning a World Cup. Hell no.
no, or Orlando City winning a MLS Cup.
Yeah. Bench, what about you? What are you playing?
I've been playing Black Flag. I have been
Yeah, you hate this.
pretty much. No, I think the opening 6 hours are pretty slow and there's not a lot going on. But once you get into some more of the main missions, and now weirdly at like hour 12, like the open world is finally opened up. I actually have like true side content to do now. I've got a lot of the kit, and I'm having a good time. I think my one complaint is the combat is very bland. I think I would have expected. I mean, I know they were very much not going to make it an RPG, but part of me wishes it had like RPG-ness to unlock like new moves, but because it's like you're doing the same like combo in every fight. And it's very basic, but I'm enjoying the ship and the pirating. I got my base, which I didn't know the game had, so I'm enjoying it. I'm having a good time, but mainly I'm in my movie arc right now, so we don't game anymore.
Every you always find a way to stop gaming. Oh, it's very humid today. I can't game. What?
Be like that.
Bench, I'll ask you this: Have you? What's Black Flag doing that Shadows didn't?
I mean, I only played Shadows for 10 hours, but
Okay.
it has actual interesting environments.
Yeah, I heard Shadows was just a lot of forests.
Yeah, it was very bland.
Yeah.
Well, and I think too, Black Flag is fundamentally a different Assassin's Creed game than Shadows is.
Yeah, it's a lot of people's favorite.
Yeah, it still follows the traditional formula to a degree, whereas Shadows is very deep into the RPG era. So that could also be part of it too. I don't want to speak for Bench, but I know that's.
Yeah, I mean,
I think
I'm not an Assassin's Creed guy. I've never beat an Assassin's Creed. This is the first one that I will beat. but I'm enjoying it.
Incredible.
It's like nothing like mind blowing, but it's a lot of fun.
Well, there you go. Black Flag.
I'm behind on my
Beloved.
gaming though.
Oh, yeah, like always.
I mean, I've
Wait
4
till-
games
we all
started.
are.
Wait
Oh, I've
till the next
also been playing Pal World 1.0. That is a lot of
Oh,
fun.
that's right. I forgot you.
Oh
Have.
my god.
I've put already 10 hours into it
Now, Benj, why have you been playing Power World 1.0?
because it's been fun.
And maybe you weren't playing Black Flag for a little bit there.
I
and
mean,
so
I
you
was
had to-
always going to play Pal World 1.0.
Mhm,
So
mhm, mhm.
Yeah, well,
Okay,
why'd
alright,
you stop
yeah.
playing Black Flag immediately? What stopped you?
just it had some bugs at launch that needed ironing out.
Mhm, mhm.
Yeah, like a 30 FPS cutscene, like how most video game
Yeah.
cutscenes are at.
Attorney and Chained Echoes also still both good games.
Why did you
Good
start
deflection,
so
good
many
deflection.
games? Yeah, well, like actually, I hate this motherfucker. Bob,
He started GTA 5 like 2 weeks ago. Do we not remember that?
No, I think I said I'm gonna start it whenever I have time.
you started it.
No, I think I said I was gonna start it and play it before 6.
No, but literally,
Well,
you
clock's
said
ticking. You got
you
4
st-
months.
we had a whole
No.
conversation because you started it and you put your own music. on it. Like, wait,
no.
he's gaslighting. He's gaslighting.
No, I would never.
But do I have to bring up the Discord message? GTA 5 and Yakuza Kiwami 2 will be beaten by the end of July. The 17th.
Time's
When did
ticking.
I don't
when-
think he's touched either of those games since he said that
I had
message.
to do a gaming reset after I got back from a trip. Reset,
Gaming
like
reset.
Xbox.
No one needs
Yeah,
a
he
game
called,
reset.
he
You just
called
play it.
Asha and he said, "This cannot continue. We must have a reset."
If you-
Doug, did you want to just shout out anything you've been
Yeah.
playing real quick?
So, I know for a fact Wolf knows, but I am one of the biggest fans of the modern Doom trilogy. That being said, I never played the original games. So when all the news of the layoffs came out, I was like, you know what? Let me go back and play the original ones because Doom 1's like 5 hours long. So what ended up happening is that I was like, okay, 5 hours long, not that bad. I can probably beat it in a day or two. 40 hours later, Doom 1, 2, 2's expansion have all been beat. I fell down
That's-
the only rabbit hole.
That's the gamer rabbit hole, man.
These games are like crack. Like it starts out like Doom 1's okay. Like it's nothing too crazy. Like Doom 1, Doom 2 is when it starts. And like the level design gets a little bit funky. But then like there's like a weird masochistic vibe to it that like you know it's ass and you know it's gonna fuck you up, but you want more of it. And I've just been like that the whole time. Something interesting
So
though.
funny.
Before I started the expansion, I was like, you know what? Let me go play Doom 64. I've never in my life dropped the game so fucking fast.
Oh,
Not because the game is bad,
well.
but the music in the game. So Doom has like rock and metal music, right? And that's what you're listening to as you can. For whatever reason, Doom 64 has ambient noises. It is the
Hell
most
yeah.
bizarre experience I've ever. I was like, what is happening here?
Oh, so Breath of
Be-
the Wild can do that, but Doom 64 can't?
Yeah, I'm starting to hear some,
When you play the
sound
games back to
consistency.
back, it's just pure rock and metal music back to back, and you could go into like this flow state, and then you go
Right.
to Doom 64. It's just noises. It's just you're in an abandoned warehouse. There's no noise. You just hear the wind. It is so. Please look up the
Kinda
difference
funny,
of the music.
honestly.
It is so weird. I've never experienced anything, and I looked it up. I'm like, am I like tripping out? No, the whole game is like that. It is so weird.
That's very funny. Doom 64 is awesome too. That's a great game.
I want to
But-
play it, but like I'm gonna have to
Wait,
play it listening to my own music because I was like, what is happening right now?
Oh, you're gonna put your own music into the game against the soundtrack. Interesting.
No, I'm not putting my own music into the game. I want to like have YouTube open on a different monitor and just play it like that because
Yeah, I'm watching it right now, Dark. It almost feels like Half-Life, the way
it's
there's
so
just
bizarre. I was like,
no-
what? Now listen
is
to the,
weird.
listen to the first level of Doom 1. The difference
Yeah.
is night and day.
That is weird.
I've never experienced, and I dropped the game because of it. That said, I went to the Doom 2 expansions. These expansions are the same size as Doom 2. These are full-length games, and they take so much advantage of the systems in it. It's honestly amazing the stuff that they've been able to get away with.
Yeah, no,
If
I think
you
Doom
played-
is an awesome franchise.
if you
and
played
those
the
games
modern
especially.
trilogy and you enjoyed it, you're gonna love the classics, especially 2, because 2 is pretty much like Doom Eternal. That's literally what it is.
Well, boys, I think we gotta head out. Thank you guys for joining me. It was a really fun time. Good yap fest. A lot
Yep.
of things happening in the industry, but you know what? At least we're talking about games that we're enjoying and having fun with, despite how shitty the rest of the industry looks. Go around the horn. YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever your favorite podcasts are at. Check us out on them. Like the podcast, helps out a ton. And follow us on Twitter and Blue Sky at A Slice of Gaming, all one word. With that, we're going to head out. Take it out, boys.
Have a good one.
Don't poop your
Yeah.
pants.
Bye-bye.